Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, I should say. Happy Saturday. Hold on one second. Let me make sure my phone's on silent. It is. How's everybody doing? Well, I don't know if there's anybody in here right now. When I do like unexpected, like, look at that. It's such a nice day out today. Even though when I move, you could tell. Gosh, I wish as much how many lights I have, and with this green screen, I wish it didn't do that. Hold on, let me see something. It shouldn't. I should be able to move and it shouldn't, like, glitch out like that. So I could trick you guys and be like, "I'm outside." Oh, it's a nice day, though. Huh? I thought I'd be in the mood because 'cause we're gonna go camping, Tuesday, I'm leaving, so I figured I'd get the outside feel. Um, so guess what, guys? Remember we were talking about my eyebrows the other day? Well, I was doing that thing that my teacher taught me. I was cutting them, like just trimming them, and I cut a chunk right here. And then they're like, there's a couple, I mean, there's a few that are real short, but they're all like a whole chunk. I don't know how I did it. I look up, I'm like, oh my God, it's like it almost looked like it's shaved right there because I cut it too short. So yeah. I thought that was funny because I we were talking about that, and they're like, "Oh, you have nice eyebrows." Not anymore. Cut a huge chunk. Anyway, hey Tennessee, hey GP, the OG. Yeah, they are you talking about the West trial? Yeah, they have a verdict for the West trial. I don't know if that's what you were talking about because we're going to talk about a lot of. I have a lot of different cases up there. Well, they were hung on to a couple counts, but basically, like the charges, I think they have the 5 charges, I mean, I think that they're strong enough charges that I don't even know if it matters with the other 2. Hi, alibi. I mean, it does matter, but I mean, is it gonna change? I mean, they're gonna still be in prison, you know what I'm saying? But, well, let me bring up my YouTube side. Alright. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff, and then I have, like, all these, like, cases I've been following that I just, like, maybe little new things are coming up that I wanna go over, and then I know I've been getting some requests for, a couple of the new cases. You have that House of Horrors, uh, case, which I know there has been past cases that they've labeled House of Horrors, but I'm sure you guys know what one I'm talking about. It's the new one, newer one where the guy it's so horrible. Oh, they go through the house and see all the evidence. And then that other one that I've gotten a lot of requests was the one oh, Mad Cow Mark, the lady who wrote the children's book. I've been following that pretty well since it first happened, and I just haven't had a time because I was so busy with Letitia that I haven't had time to do any videos on it. But we could definitely talk about that too after we go through all this other stuff. Crazy. Writes a children's book about oh, we talked about this actually a little bit, and we were gonna read it. That's right. I did talk to you guys about this a little bit, just about how I wanna cover it. And maybe if I wonder if it's available, if we could, like, read it and see what it's like. I don't know. I haven't even tried to look it up yet, but we could probably try to do that. Hi, Jamie. Um, no, Bernie, they didn't. They never found the kids, but they went to, they that's what the trial, that's what it was so frustrating because the West trial, the Lori Vallow trial, and the Letitia Stout trial were all going on at the same time. So I did not get to really watch the West trial. I watched opening statements and I watched, I kinda like, did like this one lady, that one lawyer. Now I always forget her name, but I've watched a couple of hers recaps. But yeah, so they came to a verdict, guilty on 5 counts and 7 they're hung. I'm gonna play a little news clip to kind of explain it. But no, they haven't found him yet, which is crazy. Because the thing is at least one of the little boys was probably gone months before they were even reported missing, you know. Hi, Laughingstock. Thanks. What's no longer on Amazon? Silas? Hmm. Hey, Alibi. Okay. Let me Laughingstock, your dog is so pretty. I always wanted a husky. That's a husky, right? So beautiful. They're so pretty, but I just never had the right environment for it because you want to have like a big yard. And when I got Rocky, when we were looking for dogs in Colorado, I wanted a husky so bad, but I looked at like, what you should have to own a husky, like what you should be able to supply the dog. And one of them was a big yard, and I'm like, we didn't even really have a yard, so I'm like, I couldn't do that because huskies need to run, and so I didn't get one. But if I ever have like a house with a big yard, I'd love to get one. Um, okay, yeah, the kids testified. The West other kids, yes. Wait, did they play it? Okay, here, let's play that since we're talking about that. I'll play the news clip where they go over, it's just a couple minutes where they kind of go over the charges and stuff. Hold on, let me bring that up. How's everybody doing today, though? All right, so we have, I have a couple West ones. I'm trying to think of which one I want to play. They're both only, here, let's play this one. All right, this one's 6 minutes, but there's another one. I think there's a couple. Well, thanks, Susie Blue. I love nature, and since me and Juliet are gonna be going camping, I was like, "We'll get a little prepared." I'm out just sitting out by the water, the lake behind my house. Shauna, there you are. I was waiting to wrench you till you came in because this is really the only way I know how to do it. You could do it like another way where you put their name in a spot, but it's so tricky. Like you put it in and they can never find the name. So it's easy just to wait till the person comes into live. Yay, Shauna's the new mod. Congrats. Hold on. Oh, they have different kind of moderators now? I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into that. What each one is. But yep, here's your mod. Now say something and see if it turns you blue, Shauna. Yay, thank you. For Gilly, what's up, girl? How are you? Miss you. I love that your name's back. Shauna, is you blue yet? Huh. Yay! Wrenched it up. All right, she's blue. She's wrenched up. Yay! I'm excited. I always like getting a good mod, Got a good one. We got a good one. Okay. So, let me play that video real quick for you with the West because it looks like a lot of you guys are asking about that, which it kind of got overlooked the trial because of all the other trials going on. So I wish they would have spread it out and then we could have covered each trial. That would have been so awesome, man. But I know they don't revolve around us. But I would have loved to watch all three of them. But there's no way you'd have to be like no life, no sleep if you were really expected to watch 8 hours a day for three trials. I mean, because usually they're like at least eight, like at least 6 hours a day. A lot of times they go the full day. Sometimes they'll have a half day. Sometimes they'll like skip a day. Like I think what Letitia Thursdays they didn't do it or something. But still, I mean, there's no way. And then try to do videos and talk about it. There would have been no way to cover it all. Um, all right, so all right, here we go. Let's watch this so we can get a kind of. I don't even know what background I have for when I add. Let me see. Hold on. Let's change it up since I used this last time. Nah. I don't know. I like them all, but what do you guys think? Hold on. Let me just let me just poke around here. What one you guys like? That's. Hold on. I just want to see. I usually have this ready before. Sorry. God, I like them all. That's the problem. I like all of them because, that's why I have all of them. Um, either that one. Hold on. Let's just go this one. This one's kinda just, like, really calm, pretty good, right? Not too because I was debating between that and this one, but I don't know. I'm gonna stick with this one. Ooh, this one, that was pretty nice. Okay, we're just gonna this one's even nice. Alright, I'll quit, guys. This is my indecisiveness, like, Juliet has been helping me with that because, like, I'm the type I it's not that it's that I have to make the decision, like, for instance, if it's like, oh, like, let's say we're, like, grocery shopping or something, I'm like, "Oh, which one?" I could sit there and shop and, like, sit there and contemplate because I have OCD really bad, and I think this it comes into play, like, sometimes it's worse. So, like, I run with my OCD, it's like, these obsessive thoughts, you know? So, like, what I'll do is, like, let's say I'm contemplating between something, well, I'll run, like, every scenario in my head of like, okay, if I get this, this could happen, this is good could happen, this bad. If I get this, maybe this, if I get this, and then I might, just like all the different options, and it's exhausting. But if I have somebody I trust, like Juliet, and be like, hey, pick one, and she just picks it, I'm fine. I don't need to replay, like, I don't need to replay everything in my head, or I don't need to like go over anything in my head. She picks it. Okay, that's it. Done. And I'm good to go. But I'm weird, I don't know. But no, we've talked about this. There's a lot of people actually in this chat that have the same stuff, like the OCD and stuff. So, but yeah, so she's been helping, like, even with backgrounds. Like if she's backstage, hey, help me pick one, and I'll be okay. Anyway, all right. So, oh, you have OCD too? See, mine are more like thoughts rather than, how like the typical OCD you see like is portrayed in movies and stuff is like the actions like, oh, like turn off the light switch up and down 5 times or wash your hands and stuff like that. Now mine are a little bit, sometimes they turn into like physical things, but the majority is just thoughts. Mine's like intrusive. I don't know if you consider intrusive thoughts, but just like OCD thoughts. It's like internal. Um, so nobody would even know necessarily, what what's going on. I mean, a lot of people will be like, "What?" Like I've gotten like where people like that are with me or think that I'm like upset or something because it could be in like in the middle of a conversation and I stop and I'm thinking and I'm like looking away and people will be like, "Are you mad?" I'm like, "No, just hold on." And you have to be left alone because if they talk, like you have to redo it. So it's like you'll be like, "No, just stop." And then they think you're mad because you're like, "You don't say anything. Let me just figure this out." And then if they start talking, and then it's like it ruins the thought process. So that's like the the biggest thing that is a problem. Is it too Casey? Yeah. I know it is. It wastes so much hours of my life, and but it comes in waves. Like I could go like a month or like what a couple weeks and I'm like barely even know I have it, and then I could go like a month where it's like every day so bad and it's like I waste hours thinking. So it just comes in waves. So I'm so thankful for those times where it's like on my, down where it's not bad. But then I feel like when I have those, then when it does come, it's like that much worse. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like, well, because I had like a light that like then that means, I have to go through the bad stuff too. But oh well. I mean, you know what? I'm thankful. I could be a lot worse. It really could, you know. Um and Juliet's really cool with it. So she's not like somebody is like, hey, she lets me do my thing and think when I need to. So it's all good. All right. But, Shauna, is yours internal or is yours external or is it both? I'm just curious. Do you have is it the thoughts for you too, Shauna? Yeah. It's so weird because the first time I ever brought up like my OCD, I thought like when I brought it up, people were gonna be like, "Oh, really? I never heard of that kind." Like because people, I thought they were all like associated with the other kind that's more common. Not more common that people have it, but more common talked about because, like, when people think about OCD, that's what they think of because of, like, any movies or whatever you see, that's what they portray it as, right? So when I said it and everybody's like, "Oh, no," not everybody, but a lot of people way more people than I would have thought were like, I have the same thing. It like surprised me, like the thought one. Like, are you serious? Wow. So yeah, it's more common than I would have ever guessed, which makes me feel actually like you're not alone. You just feel like okay, like people. It's not just my weird freaking brain. Oh wait, to the point where if there's something I can't decide on, I have to flip a. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, because that's the problem. Let's say you do okay, you decide, and then that decision you feel like is wrong. Like after a while, like something bad happens, you're like, "Oh, I should have got that one," and then you like, this is the hardest part about it is after you already do something. So you have the ones that where you can't decide what to do, but then after you do something, let's say you do something and then you regret it, like let's just make it something simple because sometimes it could be like something deeper than just like picking out something. But let's just like example, I picked out something and then I regret it. And then you like go over in your head, well, if I would have picked this, like, and then you replay like if you would have picked this, it would have been like this, and that. So I have that where I go like backwards, where it's like so frustrating because it's like I can't do nothing about it. Why am I wasting time? I already did it. Like, who cares if I would have done it? It's too freaking late. you know? So I spend a lot of times like that too. So yeah, it's not fun, but I could have a lot worse. But yeah, that's true. I might have to try that if I don't have Juliet to help me. It helps having somebody like you trust their decision. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I never. It's just like, psh, yep, because that's the best. A coin flip would work too, but like knowing like somebody that you trust just made the choice. Anyway, all right. So yes, yes, Shauna. Oh my god. It's so bad. So how many hours do you guys think you waste doing like thinking? Like on a bad month, I would say I don't even know if I could put it into time. I mean, because I don't even know if I would average or if I would estimate right, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know what to guess. But I might have to do that, Casey. It really is a good idea. All right, so let's that's so crazy. Like you guys, it's almost like you have the exact same thing. I love it. Um, yeah, Sarah. So we have Sarah, Casey, and Shauna so far that I've seen it. It has kind of the same thing as me and me. So we got that's what there's 86 people in here, and that's like 5 of us already that have like this almost like the same things we do, right? Wait, Shauna, Sarah, Casey, me. Wait, that's 4 people. Did Sarah, Shauna, Casey? I might have missed somebody. All right, so let's watch this. This so this is about the verdict, real quick.
Looking over hours of testimony, more than 100 exhibits of evidence, and coming.
Wait, hold on. That was so weird. It didn't play that part. Hold on. It didn't play the video part. Did you guys see that? Well, let's try this again.
Looking over hours of testimony, more than 100 exhibits of evidence, and coming to a guilty verdict on counts 1 through 3 for second-degree murder, involuntary manslaughter, and child cruelty pertaining to Orrin, and counts 6 through 7 for child cruelty pertaining to Orson and false reporting of an emergency. On the conspiracy and murder charge pertaining to Orson, the jury was deadlocked.
Is there anything further, any clarification of the law, further argument from counsel, anything that any juror believes would be of assistance in regard to reaching a verdict as to those 2 counts? Was there number 1?
No, Your Honor.
Orrin and Orson were reported missing on December 21st, 2020. The prosecution in the trial arguing that the couple reported the boys missing at the time to cover up that they had been dead for months. The defense arguing that authorities overlooked details and only looked at Trezell and Jacqueline as suspects. Experts following the trial say that this case was no easy challenge for either side or the jurors.
Any witness is subject to being led down a road for the police officers to steer them in a certain direction. Kids are more likely to be steered, we would think, in general, than adults would be. But the prosecutor obviously was able to handle those questions.
As the trial comes to an end, family and community members say a weight has been lifted.
I finally get to close my eyes and know that justice has been served.
But the story doesn't end there, because the question, where are the boys, still remains.
Hold on. You know what? This is going to be 6 minutes. And hold on. Let me try to come back into it. Is it glitching? It looks like it's really off. I'm going to try to do this again. Because my internet, it's not like, it'll show you if your internet's running slow. It's showing that it's running good. So let me try this again. That was really bothering me. I mean, you guys were seeing that too, right? No, Bernie, I don't think they do. I don't think they do, because if they did, wouldn't they have, it's playing good on this side. Wouldn't they have maybe found him? I don't know. I'm thinking no, I don't think they have a clue for some reason. I could be wrong. Does anybody know? But I don't think they do for some reason, because they would have, like, we didn't hear anything about them search. I mean, they did search a lot of areas when it first happened, but like recently, let's say that they have they figured it out. Well, we haven't heard them search in any new places lately, which they would if they had an idea, I would think. All right, here, let's try this again. All right. I'm going to start it like a minute or a little bit in.
Involuntary manslaughter and child cruelty pertaining to Orrin, and counts 6 through 7 for child cruelty pertaining to Orson and false reporting of an emergency. On the conspiracy and murder charge pertaining to Orson, the jury was deadlocked.
Is there anything further, any clarification of the law, further argument from counsel, anything that any juror believes would be of assistance in regard to reaching a verdict as to those two counts? Juror number one.
Orrin and Orson were reported missing on December 21st, 2020. The prosecution in the trial arguing that the couple reported the boys missing at the time to cover up that they had been dead for months. The defense arguing that authorities overlooked details and only looked at Theresa and Jacqueline as suspects. Experts following the trial say that this case was no easy challenge for either side or the jurors.
Any witness is subject to being led down a road for the police officers to steer them in a certain direction. Kids are more likely to be steered, we would think, in general, than adults would be, but the prosecutor obviously was able to handle those questions.
As the trial comes to an end, family and community members say a weight has been lifted.
I'll finally get to close my eyes and know that justice has been served.
But the story doesn't end there, because the question, where are the boys, still remains.
We still got to keep their faces out there no matter what.
And for those involved, they won't give up until they have an answer.
Tell us where the bodies are now. Give the bio parents and the foster mom and everybody else closure.
And the couple is facing up to life in prison for the second-degree murder, as well as the child cruelty charges. They're scheduled to be sentenced on July 13th at 8:30 a.m. And as we just heard, the community not done with this case yet. It's been an emotional journey for them. We'll send things over to 23 ABC's Brianna Willis with a look at the reaction to today's verdict.
Yeah, Veronica, today's verdict has been a long time coming for family members and people in the community who have been following this case since the beginning. Many of them sitting through the entire trial, hoping for the verdict read today. But they say the work does not stop here.
Today was a day that we all been waiting for, and to get 5 guilty counts says a lot.
While Theresa and Jacqueline West were not found guilty on every count, community supporters say the counts they do face are enough.
It's been far too long for the biological family to not know what happened, what didn't happen, and where the babies are. And I think today was a perfect day for them to find these people guilty.
Laura Vasquez and Selena Quar have followed this trial as they are adoptive parents themselves.
Devastating. It was nerve-wracking. It was almost like anxiety, waiting to hear the evidence that they had against these people.
They say sitting through the testimony of the West children really tugged at their heartstrings.
Children, when it came to them testifying, it was so sad, but at the same time, we were able to see their weight difference from them being with their biological parents to them being in protective custody and in foster care, however their situation is working.
Supporter Jennifer Nobles agrees and says now those children will likely remember this forever.
I feel sad still, because there's other innocent children out in that they've left, from doing something so horrible like this.
And biological family member Rosanna Wills says she feels for the children, but says she's glad the West parents will have to pay for what they did.
It's sad because they put their own kids in this position to where they were trying to hide this from the beginning so they wouldn't be in this position.
As for Orrin and Orson, also known as Classic and Sincere Pettis,
Somebody knows where these babies' bodies is.
Yes.
Somebody knows.
Wills adding the search will continue.
Keep their faces out there, Classic and Sincere. We love you and we will not stop till we bring you home, baby.
Supporters.
There we go. Okay. Oh, I guess there is more. Hold on. I just don't like having that music. Let's see.
More from community members about how today left them with bittersweet emotions. Live in downtown Bakersfield,
This is a little choppy.
23 ABC News, connecting you.
So hopefully what I'll do is I'm going to maybe if the next video's like that, I'll just share it on this computer. Because I don't know, that stuff bothers me for some. It probably bothers me way more than it even bothers you. But anyway, so that's that. So 7 counts, 2 deadlocked. So I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? I'm still happy with the verdict. I mean, they're not getting out, not anytime soon. So I just wish they did find them. No, Jamie, they didn't plead guilty. Where are you? No, they were trying to act like that they were missing. Yeah, they didn't plead guilty. So that's why they went to trial and stuff. So yeah, they won't just be, they're cowards, they won't just like admit it. They're going to just, I guarantee they're going to just keep saying that they're innocent and whatever. So, oh wait, zavgirl, nope, not video and trial. It's the second trial because first trial. Oh, wait a minute, Masterson. No, I think I'm getting it confused with. It sounds familiar, but I feel like, I don't know. I feel like if I would look at it, I might be like, oh, I know that. Or I might have no idea. But I did. I went into like, I'm sure all of us probably at one point went down that Scientology rabbit hole, like looking into it. I went down that for quite a while. And then it leads you to other stuff, That's crazy. I mean, wait, first of all, let me ask, is there anybody in this chat that is a member of the Scientology? Before I say anything. Maybe I shouldn't even say that word. It might be a trigger word for like YouTube. But oh, thanks, Lisa Loves. Hey. Oh, that's sweet. Yay, I'm glad you're here. What's life in prison, Jamie? You said Zav, that's life in prison? What I don't know what were you referring to? That's what I'm saying. Are you talking about the West trial, the verdict? Yeah, they're still gonna get. You know what I'm saying? They're still gonna get. They're still not gonna get out anytime at all, probably. Yeah, life in prison. So the 2 that they're undecided. I don't think that's what I don't know if are they gonna go through that and like go through another trial for that? Do you think? And if they said that on that video, maybe I missed it because I was so concerned about it being choppy. But I wonder if they're just going to let it go and just go with the charges they have, or if they're going to do it for those 2. That's what I'm a little bit confused. But oh, you're saying the 2 that they're undecided? Well, I guess we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated and if whatever happens. I don't know. Okay, so let's go. So we got where you got the West. Hold on, let me see if the other one. There was one other West video, but hold on, West verdict. I think it pretty much has the same stuff. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, here's the other one I was gonna play. Let's see. Ooh, that's 14 minutes long, but let's just play. We'll skip through it a little bit. I just want to see. Hold on. Oh, my screen. Ugh, I can't talk. My screen keeps unsharing. Okay. So I'm gonna do. Let's just play a part of this one. Wow, that's what it is. My computer is behind this computer. I'm seeing it as I'm sharing the screen. Wonder why it's doing that. And it's not the YouTube delay that's always there. It's something else. This StreamYard is behind this StreamYard. Huh. And that's why we're getting a little bit of choppiness. Well, let me try a couple more, and if not, I'll go. I just don't like sharing it over here because then I like having my chat right here. But okay. So let's play a little bit of this and see if there's anything new. This is about the West too.
And their murder. The reality here, man, is 2 little boys went missing. It didn't do enough to show that no one took them. It was wander off or dead.
There are glaring issues in this case that cannot be excused.
It's time for justice.
Where are the boys? It is a question that has haunted Kern County since December 21st, 2020, when 2 young brothers were reported missing out of California City. Thanks for joining us here on 17 News at Noon. I'm Elena Rusk.
And I'm Maddie Jansen. After just 2 days of deliberation, a verdict has been reached in one of the most closely watched trials in Kern County history. Theresa and Jacqueline West have been found guilty on 1 count of second-degree murder for the death of Orrin West. But the jury was deadlocked on the 2nd count of second-degree murder related to the death of the other child, Orson. And so the judge declared a mistrial on 2 charges.
Now we have 17 News team coverage today. Our Alex Fisher taking a deep dive through this case starting from day 1. He'll have a full recap on the year-long investigation coming up. And 17's Marco Torres will have more on the boys' journey through foster care, which ultimately landed Orrin and Orson in the custody of the West.
Okay, I just want to test this computer. It's dry. It's really bothering me. I know you guys don't notice it, but it's off and it's just bothering me because I'm looking at it on my phone. So I'm just going to do it over here, guys. Sorry. It'll be all right. Maybe it'll eventually pick up. Okay, so let's just do this. Share. Okay, hopefully this will be good.
And their murder.
I'll skip
Murder for the death of Orrin West. But the jury was deadlocked on the 2nd count of second-degree murder related to the death of the other child, Orson. And so the judge declared a mistrial on 2 charges.
Now we have 17 News team coverage today. Our Alex Fisher taking a deep dive through this case starting from day 1. He'll have a full recap on the year-long investigation coming up. And 17's Marco Torres will have more on the boys' journey through foster care, which ultimately landed Orrin and Orson in the custody of the Wests.
But we begin our coverage with a breakdown of the verdict. Theresa and Jacqueline West faced a slew of charges, among them second-degree murder, willful cruelty to a child, involuntary manslaughter, conspiring to commit murder, and falsely reporting an emergency. Counts 1 through 3 apply to Orrin West, who allegedly died in Bakersfield before the Wests ever.
Look at these. Okay, so we have the count 4 and 5. So, and it just goes for one of the boys, right? Oh, wait, no. So conspiring to commit murder and second-degree murder. So, but, okay. So only for one of the boys. But what about the conspiring? Okay, so one of these is for, they just said for one of the boys, you know, mistrial. But for this conspiring to commit murder, she'll probably go on to explain it. But I'm wondering if she doesn't, there's only one of those, right? So did that only pertain to one of the boys? Let's see. But I feel like this right here, second-degree murder. that would carry a pretty high sentence, right? Would that be life? I think that'd be life, right? And they would be both charged, so it wouldn't even matter as far as getting the second one, right? I don't think it would make a difference in their sentencing, because if it's life anyway, I don't think it will. I mean, how would that even make a difference, right? And then let's say it's like 27 years or something like that. Then if they usually do them, I don't know if they're going to do them consecutive. Let me watch it. Sorry, before I
ever moved to California City. Counts 4 through 6 apply to Orson, who prosecutors argue was killed after Orrin died. On the first count of second-degree murder, the jury found Theresa and Jacqueline West guilty. The jury also turned in a guilty verdict on count 2, involuntary manslaughter of Orrin West. On the third count of willful cruelty to a child, the jury found Theresa and Jacqueline West guilty. But here's where the jury couldn't reach an agreement on 2 of the charges related to Orson. That mistrial was declared for count 4, conspiring to commit a murder, as well as count 5, second-degree murder. Prosecutors argued he was killed shortly after Orrin died. For count 6 of willful cruelty of a child related to Orson, the jury found Theresa and Jacqueline West guilty. And finally, count 7, false report of an emergency. The jury turning in a verdict of guilty. Theresa and Jacqueline West will be sentenced on July 13th.
Okay, so
Now, even 2 years. Public records tell us Theresa Phillip West is 36 years old. Jacqueline Gabrielle Vasquez West is 33. Prior to December 2020, they had no local arrest records. In the months after the boys were reported missing, there were dozens of searches and scores of prayer vigils for Orrin and Orson, but the Wests never went to those. There was even 3 social media posts by the extended West family praying for the boys' return, but none by Theresa and Jacqueline. A yearbook confirms Theresa was a 2004 graduate of Bakersfield High School. Immediately after Orrin and Orson went missing in 2020, authorities seized the other 4 boys who were living with Wests.
Before the conviction, Theresa and Jacqueline West were indicted by the Kern County grand jury. Little's known about those proceedings, but that's intentional. The Kern County grand jury is made up of 19 volunteers from the community. It's rarely used. Most of the time, prosecutors file charges directly, leading to a public preliminary hearing. But when they happen, a grand jury's proceedings are private. Witnesses can testify without fear of retaliation, and prosecutors can avoid tipping a defendant ready to flee the county. And ultimately, members of a grand jury have the power to bring an indictment. Defense attorneys are not present at grand jury proceedings. Their only information comes from the prosecution. That fact has led some to question the fairness of the process. The murder conviction came in the second degree. According to California law, a second-degree murder charge alleges a killing that is intentional but not premeditated, or a killing caused by reckless disregard for human life. The act typically doesn't have any kind of premeditation and may only have been intended to cause harm rather than death. It's punishable by a prison term of 15 years to life. First-degree murder, on the other hand, is defined as the unlawful killing of a human being or a fetus with malice aforethought.
Now, this verdict is just another chapter in the long and sad story of these missing boys. 17's Alex Fisher joins us with more on how we got to this point.
I was just looking up the punishments for second degree, but they went over it, man. They're thorough. So yeah, that's what when I looked it up, it said 15 years to life. So I guess it could possibly make a difference to get that second one. But if they run concurrently, I don't know how they would have them run. Depending on how they would have them run, it wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Let's see what they say. If they think that what they're going to do.
They are our children, and so we want them back.
A desperate plea just 4 days before Christmas. Theresa and Jacqueline West report 2 of their kids are missing. It's December 21st, 2020. The West claim 3-year-old Orson and 4-year-old Orrin had gone missing from the backyard of their home on the edge of the vast desert community of California City.
I came in the house, I saw them there. I went in the house, I came back out. I didn't see him now. I realized that I left the gate open and I panicked.
The couple called police later that night. Officers and neighbors rushed to the house and started looking for the boys, scouring yards and fields.
And that's all I want is to find a baby. You understand? And I hit a bunch of corners. I went down this street. I turned my light on. I searched. I called their names.
The next day, the search turned into an investigation. Investigators went through the West home, taking large brown bags full of evidence. The family's van was towed. Their cell phones were seized. Police said the Wests were cooperating with the investigation, but authorities removed the family's 4 other sons to protective custody. The community prayed. They left presents. Family, friends, and strangers all clinging to hope.
We're looking for something to do. Look, some way that we could step up and do something with the community. And right now, the only thing that we can do is give gifts because they weren't able to get gifts on Christmas.
Police continued their search. They dug up vacant fields. They used ground-penetrating radar to search for bodies, but nothing.
What I do truly believe is that night, there is no way that they could have got out of that the neighborhood without some sort of assistance from an adult.
Police wouldn't say who that adult might have been, but a week later, the exhausted chief was more blunt.
I can't comment on that, whether I think they're alive or not. I do suspect foul play. We haven't been able to put together, how the boys got out of the yard or where they've gone.
4 months later, the Bakersfield Police Department took over the case. BPD said they had more resources than the 21-officer California City Police Department. After BPD got the case, investigators followed up on leads, some of them leading to massive searches.
I expect that there will be more searches. There's been numerous interviews, numerous search warrants, and that will continue until we know what happened.
Nothing was turning up. The community was getting worried, but still remained hopeful.
The boys will be found. They will be brought home.
Community contributions poured in to create a reward of more than $100,000. Prayer vigils were held. People gathered to ask God to return the boys safely. Theresa and Jacqueline never attended any. Then, a year later, a stunning development.
The investigation has revealed that Orrin and Orson West are deceased. The investigation has also revealed that they died 3 months before their adoptive parents reported them missing.
Theresa and Jacqueline West were indicted by the grand jury on charges they murdered the boys. Hours before his arrest, 17 News tracked down Theresa West at a post office in Edison. He took off in an RV west of Bakersfield. And that's when police caught up to him and made the arrest. For 14 months, people asked, where are the boys? Now, they were asking something different.
The question is now, where are the boys' bodies? We want to be able to bring them home and, give them a proper burial.
Theresa and Jacqueline West pleaded not guilty.
It feels good, though, to see them sitting there handcuffed in those brown suits or whatever. That's where they belong.
The trial went on for more than a month. Witnesses said they hadn't seen the boys for months prior to them being reported missing.
Ultimately, the answer to the question of where are the boys will be answered. It's that they're dead. And at the end of the case, I will ask you to return a verdict of guilty beyond a reasonable doubt as to Theresa and Jacqueline for the murders of Orrin and Orson West.
But the pivotal testimony came from the West's eldest biological child, who claimed he saw 4-year-old Orrin's body at the family's home.
They let him die.
The defense argued that police focused on the Wests from the very beginning, ignoring other possible suspects.
This was a tragic accident, is what the evidence will show. All right? They don't have an answer for it because it was tragic. But instead, Theresa is here on a murder charge.
We are saying that, honestly, anything could have happened, right? They were abducted. We don't know. And to be quite honest, if we knew the answers to that, we really wouldn't even be here.
The question remains the same. Where are the boys?
That was 17's Alex Fisher reporting. Without a body, proving that someone has committed murder is difficult, but it's not impossible. The last no-body murder conviction here in Kern County was the case of Daniel Rhodes. Last year, the Caliente man was sentenced to 40 years to life in prison for gunning down William Alford in 2019. Rhodes admitted he shot Alford after Alford forced his way into his home and threatened him. Rhodes told investigators he loaded Alford's body into his pickup and tossed it inside a large trash bin off Caliente Bodfish Road. Alford's body has never been found. Test results revealed a bullet fragment found at this.
Okay. Wait, hold on one second. Let me see something. Oh, that won't let me go to any. Oh, wait, maybe it will. Just give me 1 minute. Oh, yeah, it does switch. Okay. Yeah, I know, Dolores. There'd be so many people that would have, and it just makes no sense why these parents, instead of just giving them to a family that would love to have them, like there's a lot of instances where that happens, where it's like there'd be so many people that are trying so hard to get kids. If you can't take care of them, just let somebody else. But the thing with them is because they were making money off of them. What was it, like $4,000 a month for however that process, the adoption and then foster, or however they did it, they were supposedly making $4,000 a month off of them. So that's why it's a shame. But if you look at, like, for instance, just biological parents that, have their kids and then that happens, which they wouldn't be making any money off of them, why wouldn't they just give them up for adoption if they don't want them? I mean, it's just so messed up. So yeah. Yeah, isn't it, Shauna? So that's what we think that was why, their motive, as far as why they, first of all, let it go and didn't report him because they kept getting that money every month, and why they possibly had them and maybe didn't even want them, It's just, they're sick. They're sick. Hi, Wolfpack. Aw, thank you. Got a lot of OCDs in the house. OCD people. All right, so let's let's go on to, I'm trying to think what we should do next. So let's do Menendez real quick. Did you hear the new stuff going on with the Menendez brothers? So that case, I covered it way after, of course, probably last year sometime. We talked about it for a few videos, and I actually spent like a lot of time digging into that case, and it's so interesting, and it's just really good, like the trial. And put a thumbs up if you guys follow that case and have at least watched maybe some of the trial where the boys testified. I feel like, well, here's the crazy thing. When I watch it and when I covered it, and and I my opinion, like when you watch them testify, like I feel like they are being 100% truthful. Like I don't get any like deceit. Like it feels like so real. The emotion feels real. I think I've always thought I believed them. I believed every word they said. I just feel like you could tell they were telling the truth up on the stand. But then when I'm covering it, reading comments, there's a lot of people that are like, "Oh my God, they're horrible actors. They're lying." So I guess it's just crazy how like one person could have such strong opinion on one way, and then there's a lot of people out there that don't believe them. But in my opinion, like I said, I'm just me. I mean, I don't know if I'm right or not, but in my opinion, it's so real. Like it's so sincere. Like the emotions are so real to me. So it doesn't look like acting at all. So I definitely believe that they were abused growing up, and all the stories they told, and even how Eric said wait, hold on a second. Now I forget. Hold on one second. Just give me 1 minute. 1 minute. But there's something that is new with that case. Somebody came out. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. I think it's Menudo. Hold on. Why am I? Just give me 1 minute. I want to just make sure I get everything right since it's been a while. So yeah, it was. That is so weird. Hold on. That my memory is like. It's one of those moments where you know something, but then it doesn't sound right. But I don't know. It's weird. Okay, so yeah. So anyway, Eric talks about how Lyle did that to him. Remember, he says how he took him out in the woods and did some of the same stuff to him that the dad was doing to them. And that part was like, it's like, why would they wouldn't even need to say that. Like they don't, you know what I'm saying? If they were lying, I mean, that's like for two like guys to come out and like admit that, like that's kind of embarrassing. But the fact that like, why would they even lie about that? Because they wouldn't have needed to. I think it's like so true. How many? Oh, I forgot to see how many people did a thumbs up. Okay. It's very interesting. So Menudo, I think it was. So his dad, his dad's the one that they, said abused him all growing up. And really, Eric, he stopped doing it to Lyle. Lyle was like his favorite, like, son. So he started doing it to Lyle because he's the older one, but then he stopped and he continued to abuse Eric sexually. Continued up until he was 18, until he was adult. He wanted to go away to college and his dad wouldn't let him, wanted him to stay home and like go to, live there and go somewhere close. Well, oh, thanks for joining. Mickey, thank you so much. Oh, thanks. Welcome to the family. So he continued as an adult. That's why he wanted him to stay home and not go away to college. So Eric confronted or came and talked to Lyle about it, and Lyle knew because he used to do it to Lyle. He stopped doing it to Lyle, when Lyle was still young, and he just started doing it to Eric. Well, Lyle opened up and told him about, or Kyle opened up and told Lyle about what his dad was doing, and Lyle's like, "No, I'm taking you with me. You're not going to stick around and let him do this to you. I'm taking him with you. I mean, you're coming with me or whatever." And then they decided that there's no way that, wait, what was it? They wanted to confront him. Hold on. I'm forgetting like why they ended up killing him, because they thought he would never, first of all, he wouldn't let Lyle take Eric with him, and he would never admit it. And this is a thing. And they thought if they come out and tell people, so they could get Eric away from it, that they thought that the dad would kill him before he would let them like say that about him and ruin his reputation and tell the public, because they were really about appearances, because they were wealthy. He was like a big movie director or movie producer. He was like something with the movies. I forget the label, but he was like a big, he made a lot of money. He did good with movies and stuff. So they're like, there's no way if we come out, like he's going to kill us. There's no way. So they're like, well, let's kill him. And they decided to kill both of them. And Eric even told, like, before they killed him, he went to his mom and told him what his dad was doing. And his mom, I forget the response now. It's been like over a year since I covered, but her response basically made Eric feel like she knew, because Eric was almost in denial, even though it was probably obvious now looking back that the mom knew, because how couldn't the mom know? But when that's your mom, so you would never think that your mom that you thought loved you would let your dad do that stuff to you. So I think he was like in denial that his mom knew. So when he told his mom responded in a way that like was basically that showed him that she already knew. So like that hurt him, like, whoa, like you knew this whole time and you let dad do this to me type thing. And so they decided like they have to take it into their hands, and then they killed him, which I don't think, I'm not condoning that it was a bad decision, but and their reasoning is there's no way, like he was so powerful, so like well, like his reputation was good. They're like, nobody's gonna believe us, and he's not gonna let us, what is he gonna do? And they did not want Eric as an adult staying there continuing to get abused. Like Lyle's like, no, I'm not gonna let him do that to you. So they decided to kill him, and that's what they did. And Eric opened up to his therapist, his psychiatrist, and told him. And his psychiatrist had it on audio, and that's how it got out. If not, they probably would have got away with it. So anyway, so they go to trial. The first trial was a mistrial. They go back. I hated the judge. The judge sucked. It was like back when the trial was going on, like what was the 80s or not early 90s or whatever. It was almost like essay was like an essay by like somebody that was like prominent and like, oh, there's no way like, look, they're a well-respected family. They're successful. There's no way that they just thought, like a lot of people were like, they're just spoiled little kids and they just want their parents' money and, little spoiled brats or whatever. And you could tell the judge took that opinion on by the first. So the second trial wasn't video, but the first one was. So you get to watch the first one. Well, you could tell like some of his rulings and his attitude about like the essay. You could tell like it was like almost like he wasn't believing it because it was like, oh, his dad's so well respected, and it was like I felt like it was just, I don't know, I just didn't feel like he was fair. So the second trial, they didn't allow any of the like essay stuff. They didn't allow a lot of the stuff. He didn't allow a lot of the stuff. So that's why they lost, right? And what they did is they did 2 trials in one. So it was like they both had separate lawyers, but they did the trials together. And then there's certain parts when it only pertained to one of them where the other, they would leave, like the other, let's say it was Eric's time to do like something specific, and then Lyle and his lawyers would leave for that time. They had 2 different juries. So they did it like together, but the same. That's why I was hoping they would do the Vallow. Like it would be like separate 2 juries, but it would be like the same type thing. Cause then you wouldn't have to waste like all the money and time where they only had to separate it a little bit, for different parts. So yeah. But yeah, so like ultimately, yeah, they got found guilty. And then it became like, I guess TikTok started, you know how TikTok is. It started like trending on TikTok last year. Maybe a little over a year ago. I don't know, like around a year ago. And so people started like getting into it again. And now, like when people started looking back at it, like back then, I feel like the majority of people were looking at it like spoiled rich kids, boo hoo, they're lying, right? But now, since a lot of people were more aware of the essay could happen in families that you think is normal and you think is the perfect family, it happens. You know what I'm saying? And now it's more accepted and there's more knowledge, education, there's more awareness of that. So now looking back, a lot of people were trying to get them out and like sticking up for them and trying to like, stand for like trying to get them out of jail out of prison. Sorry. People hate when I mix up the 2, jail and prison, but yeah. So it kind of like had people looking into it again. Anyway, so guy from Menudo, who his dad used to manage, came out and said, he abused him too, essayed him. And so now I don't know what's going to happen. I hope they get out. They've served so much time. I think, they made a bad mistake. They should never have done that. It was horrible. They should have made better choices. Yes. But I think they freaking served their time. I think they should get out now because, you got to look at it. Are they going to recommit? No, this was like a very, what is the word? Like specific thing. The reason they did it, not because they like killing people or they have this this violent tendency or anything. It wasn't that. It was because what their dad did, and they felt like they had no other choice to get Eric out of there. They felt like Eric was going to be a prisoner to his dad, and how are they ever going to get Eric out of there? He's never going to have a life, And so are they? I think it's so zero small chance of them recommitting, like they're going to do that again. No. They served let me see when they got sentenced. They served a lot of time already. So I would love to see them get out. What do you guys think? Yeah, they got life, hippie. Yeah. But hold on, let me see. Menendez. So I have a couple videos on that, the new stuff that's going on that we're going to watch. But if you guys haven't seen the trial, at least I would go watch their testimonies. Like, let's say you are like, oh, I remember that happened. I always thought they were guilty. Go back and watch their testimonies, man. I feel like it's so real and powerful. And like, you know how I was telling you, like, sometimes like you go with your like your gut. Like if you feel like sad and you feel it yourself, I would say 9 times out of 10 is because it's real. They're telling the truth. So you can actually feel their sadness that they're portraying. When you watch them, I mean, at least for me, like I feel it so much when they're like telling what happened to them. It's like you feel it. It's like, gosh. And it's like almost surprising now watching it. Like, how did a jury not see that? Like, it seems so obvious, but that what they were saying was legit. Like their dad was a monster. He was a monster. And the mom wasn't that good either. Not only did she let it go on, there were some instances where she kind of did that to Lyle. Okay. So she was almost jealous of Lyle because the dad like worshiped Lyle. Like Lyle was like his, like, I don't even know what the word for it is, but just basically like wanted to like mold him into like himself. You know what I'm saying? Like that was his boy. So, and he gave like Lyle like all his attention. So his mom was almost jealous of the attention that the dad gave Lyle, that she kind of took it out on Lyle. And there's instances where there was a little bit of essay going on between Lyle and his mom too. And there was also instances where friends came out and said that there would be times that the mom would lock him in the room, like Eric. They would have to stay in the closet. There was times in the closet, in the room, and they would have to, and what they would do is they would pee outside the window, and they had like these containers where they pee and poop in it because the mom wouldn't let them out. So his mom, I don't mean to laugh. I'm not laughing because I think it's funny. I'm laughing because it's just ridiculous. So the mom was abusive too. Not as bad as the dad, but she still was. And then they would humiliate him in front of everybody. Like, hold on, there was something else I wanted to say when I was talking about the mom. I don't know, maybe it'll come to me, but I mean, it's just like when you look into it, you just like feel so bad for the boys, so bad. um all right, so it was 19 wait, they were convicted in 1996. So, but then I'm trying to think how long that they prepare for trial. So how long were they in jail before they got convicted? But let's say just 1996. So that's already 27 years. Come on. I want them to look over it again. They could overturn it. Yeah, so they did get a life sentence without the possibility of parole. So it's going to be really hard, but there's always some kind of loophole or something that a lawyer could find. I really do think. So let's watch this video and see what you guys think. Yeah, no, I agree, Eve. I agree. She was too, by him even, but it's still not a freaking excuse. You know what I'm saying? You break the cycle, you don't continue it. And also they said like his dad was too, by his parents. They're thinking. I'm trying to think if there was like a lot of proof to back that up about his dad having the same thing done to him, like by his family, his dad, I think. I'm trying to remember if there was like proof though of that for sure. I don't know. Oh, and they even had like cousins. They had a couple people that Eric confided in, one, and maybe Lyle. There was just a couple witnesses where like back when they were kids that they had told what their dad was doing. So right there, like that shows like how are they going to predict that later on they're going to kill her? You know what I'm saying? So like back then they're even telling, the one told his cousin, and I feel like there's 2 instances where somebody was told as kids. One was a kid to a kid, like the cousin, like I think it was, Oh, I was thinking it was Eric. I'm not sure, but that told his, and they were both kids, but he remembers it, right? Because he said something like, "Yeah, doesn't your dad do that with you?" or something like that, one of those type things. And the kid's like, "No." Okay, so yeah, exactly. See? Yeah, I agree. No, yeah, no, they didn't. It's just, they felt they had no choice, and that's the thing. So I feel like they really did feel like their only choice was to kill him, because kill them, because if they didn't, I don't know, I mean, they probably didn't have to kill the mom to, well, they didn't have to kill anybody I know, but like their kids, they're mentally, emotionally probably like stunted from all the abuse. You know what I'm saying? So they're not thinking like an adult, and I feel like that I do strongly believe that they felt that was their only option to get out of that situation, to get Eric out of that. Yeah, Lyle was out. He was going away to college, but he was trying to protect his younger brother, and the dad was like going to keep him prisoner. How was Eric going to ever have a relationship with the girl or get married? Or will he even let that happen? Like, so they were just so afraid that he was going to be his dad's prisoner forever, basically, and like, so I feel like, I really do feel like they didn't think they had any other choice. Yeah, okay, thanks, Alexa. So Eric told his cousin Andy, and Lyle told a friend later on. Thank you. I couldn't remember. I thought that there was at least two different instances. Yep. Okay. All right. So we'll play this video here about the new stuff. All right. I'm going to try it on this. And if it's still like choppy, then we're going to, you know what? Actually, I am going to come back in. Hold on one second. I'm going to leave studio on my other one and come back in and see if it works. 1 second. We probably could watch. Let's go through all the stuff. I mean, I'm going to watch these videos with you, but then afterwards, if we get all through the stuff and I'm still feeling up and we're all still wanting to chat, maybe we will watch the testimonies together. I see if I have them still already. Because I think we went over them when I covered them like last year. All right, hold on 1 second. Yeah, I know they got married. They're both married. They're still both married, right? Yeah. So, I think that would show that they have a support system. They have somewhere to go if they're let out. They could go, with their wives. And, I, s- I, r- I really don't think that they would recommit. I really don't. I think it was a specific thing. It was what they had to do in the moment that they felt they had to do. They're not like murderers or killers. You know what I'm saying? They definitely, hopefully they've gotten therapy in prison, and they probably, if they would ever get out, they probably would need to like go into a program where they would get therapy and stuff, because I mean, think about that, like years of abuse and then years of being in prison. Yeah, they're going to need some help. Okay, so let's watch this. Oh, thanks, Val. Yes, Eve. Oh, that I would love to see that for them. I really would, because I think they're good guys, and I don't, I think they just wanted to be loved so bad. Like even Eric, when he got up on stand, he's like, they still love. I mean, that happens a lot. You see that the abuser, the people, the victim will still love them, and he's like, I loved him so much, and basically he said that was the only love. Like he almost liked it. He didn't like it, but he did, because that was the only time that he got love from his dad. So it was almost like a love-hate thing, where it's like the guy is abusing him. You know what I'm saying? But that, in a weird, twisted way, Eric felt like he was showing, he was giving him love. So it's like he liked it, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, well, he's nice to me in those moments, even though he did some like sick stuff with it too. Like he would poke him with needles and like cause pain while he was doing it too. I don't know. It's just horrible. But like there was instances where, like he say he loves them, or like, give him affection while they're doing it, where Eric's like, well, it's the only time like I felt like he loved me, which is sick, because that's not what that is. But yeah. All right. Hi, Alicia. Thank you for coming. I might have seen that. When I've seen that, I'm pretty sure it was it wasn't new, right? It's not new. I'm thinking I seen it if it's an older one. All right, let me bring up. Let's see. Hold on one second. Here's one of them. Okay. Law and Crime, yes. So we're gonna watch Law and Crimes. I love Law and Crime. All right. Why didn't that share? Hold on a second. Man, this computer's really not liking me today. So I'm saying sometimes you just can't control for different issues that that happens on lives. All right, I think we got it now. All right.
Eric and Lyle Menendez, two brothers convicted of murdering their parents in 1989, claim they have new evidence to prove their parents abused them and that their murder convictions should be vacated. I'm Anjanette Levy, and thanks for joining us here on Law and Crime. The trials of Lyle and Eric Menendez.
Okay. I can't. Hold on. I'm going to share it on my computer. I can't with this. It's not matching up to the thing. And I can't. I was hoping it would fix, but it's not. Oh, well. No biggie. We got it over here. Oh. Okay, here we go. So click on this. And this. Okay, here we go.
Two brothers convicted of murdering their parents in 1989 claim they have new evidence to prove their parents abused them and that their murder convictions should be vacated. I'm Anjanette Levy, and thanks for joining us here on Law and Crime. The trials of Lyle and Eric Menendez were as high profile as you could get. It really captured the attention of people across the country.
It's time for the world to know the truth.
And now, thanks in part to a documentary on Peacock, the case is being thrust back into the spotlight. Eric and Lyle shot and killed their parents, Jose and Kitty, at their home in Beverly Hills in August 1989. Eric was 18 and Lyle was 21. At first, the brothers claimed burglars must have killed their parents while they were out at a movie. Jose Menendez worked in upper management at RCA Records at the time, and the family was incredibly well off. Prosecutors later charged Lyle and Eric in 1992 with killing their parents, claiming the sons wanted their parents' money to themselves so they could fund a lavish lifestyle. At trial, the brothers said they endured years of abuse, sexual, physical, and emotional, at the hands of their father, and that their mother enabled it. Some of Eric and Lyle's family members testified about the abuse. The siblings said the crimes they committed were manslaughter, not murder. The first trial ended in a hung jury, the second in a conviction and life sentences for Eric and Lyle. Now the Menendez brothers say new evidence shows they should be released from prison. That includes Roy Roseo, a member of the popular 1980s boy band Menudo, coming forward to say that Jose Menendez raped him as a child. Menudo was represented at the time by RCA Records. In a new petition for a writ of habeas corpus, the Menendezes have included a handwritten letter that Eric wrote to his cousin Andy in 1988 discussing the abuse. I spoke with famed criminal defense attorney Mark Garrigus, who is part of the team representing the Menendez brothers, about the history of the case and why they believe they should be released.
Let me tell you what happened, at least from my standpoint. First trial was defended by Leslie Abramson. Leslie is, when I was starting out, was one of the heroines in the criminal defense, a superstar lawyer. She was just phenomenal to watch in action. She tried that first case, and the half of that jury The jury hung, with a mistrial was declared, but half of the jury found that they did not commit a murder. And when I say they did not commit a murder, they were hung between murder and manslaughter. And the main reason for that was the abuse. There was front and center in the trial. It diminished the notion or element of malice. So then a mistrial is declared. And guess what happens? In the interim, O.J. Simpson is acquitted. And literally days later, they go to trial, the second trial. There's a new prosecutor within the DA's office. Some wags said David Kahn, who tried it, was thought to be Gil Garcetti's biggest threat for his reelection. So what he did in kind of a Machiavellian move is he put David Kahn on the retrial of the Menendez brothers, and they were able to convince the judge to exclude all of the abuse. So not only was the second trial gamed, so to speak, by not having the ability to argue and to present evidence of the abuse, but even more unfortunate for the boys in justice was that the DA, David, made the argument in closing that it was just an excuse. They were privileged, affected white kids from the Valley, basically, who just didn't like being grounded. I mean, that was they diminished the abuse, and he called it the abuse excuse. Interestingly, what happened since is, first, there was a letter that was written by Eric 8 months before the killings took place. That letter was to his cousin, and it described, it's horrific, and it's attached to our filing. I think you probably read it. It'll shake you up as a mother, and I know it did me as a parent. You then, that letter goes to his cousin. His cousin tragically passes away. All of his personal effects are then with one of the other relatives and tucked away. Nobody ever looks through it. They then find it, most recently. The letter is, I think, devastating and shows that it was not contrived after the fact. Then what happens is you've got this NBC Peacock documentary that comes out, and it turns out that there's now one of the band members from Menudo, which was a band on the RCA label that Jose Menendez was president of that label, was alleges that he was molested by Jose Menendez. You combine the two of those together, you've got about as good a corroboration as you'd ever want, and it's about as good a factually about as good a writ of habeas corpus as I've seen in next month doing this 40 years.
And just so we're clear, and so we explain this, a writ of habeas corpus, you're basically saying that someone is being imprisoned unlawfully, and you essentially kind of sue the warden of the prison where the person is being held. So we've read the filing, we see what's alleged inside. What's the next step?
The next step, we filed it, we've attached all the exhibits, we've presented, I think, a compelling case, and we're hopeful that the Superior Court judge, this is in the LA Superior Court, will issue an order to show cause or direct the DA's office to reply to this. And so a number of variations can happen, but we're hoping to at least get a hearing or an order that will give us a hearing. And as somebody much more clever than me said, think about this. If this case from the 90s was tried today, do you think for a minute that somebody would exclude the abuse? It wouldn't happen, not in today's milieu. Back in the 90s, I can understand it, combined with a district attorney who was under siege after a acquittal on OJ.
See, that's what I was talking about. If it was today, it's so much different now than it would have been back then. So yeah, if they would have went to trial today, they probably would have got manslaughter. Crazy. Sorry, I just wanted to give my 2 cents. Okay.
J. Simpson, and did not want another high-profile loss. Then take this. Somebody else said to me the other day, if these were the Menendez sisters instead of the Menendez brothers, they would not be in custody. I mean, they've been in 33 years.
Eric Menendez is now 55 years old. Lyle is 52. And despite both brothers serving life without parole, they've both married women who live on the outside. I reached out to the LADA's office for comment. A spokesperson tells me that they've received this petition and it's under review. For Law and Crime.
Okay. So yeah, because they said they got charged, what, 92, it said. So that means that they were in jail that whole time leading up to the trial. The trial's in 96. Oh, but you got to remember, the first trial was a mistrial. So actually 96 was after both trials and then was convicted, because that was the year that they were convicted. So yeah, so he said, what, 33 years they've served already? And I looked up a manslaughter in California. Wait, where did I put it? Oh, shoot, that was the last one. Hold on. Well, hold on. Let me bring it up again. Of how long. It's not, they should definitely be out, even if they gave them the max. So it would be, it says in the state of California, the punishment out for voluntary manslaughter is anywhere from 3 to 11 years in prison. With involuntary manslaughter, it can average from 2 to 4. So that it would definitely be voluntary, I would say, so 3 to 11 years. Such penalties can have long-ranging and very detrimental effects on your life and that of your family. They've already spent like 3 sentences of what I believe that they should have. And what I believe if they had a trial today, what it would have probably came to. So I hope that they're able to overturn it somehow. I really do. Do you think, what do you think? What about you, Shauna? Do you guys think there's a possibility that they will be able to, or no? I didn't watch the Peacock one. I wonder, or did I? Hold on. Maybe I did back when I covered it. Hold on. Because I did. I watched a couple that were really good. I might have watched that one. Oh, thanks, Batman. Thank you. I misunderstood your message. I thought you were saying that you're talking about the bug spray because you knew that I was going camping, but then I reread it and I was like, oh, you're just making a joke. But I am actually going camping Tuesday. Hi, Peyton. V Slim's in the house. Good morning. Aw, I would like to visit America one day, but I guess I was watching too many crime videos of American murders. Yeah, that'll make you not want to visit, huh? Literally produce the body to bring a person who is incarcerated before a judge to address the legality of incarceration. Okay, so hi, Kelly. I vaguely remember this trial, watched with my parents. The whole world at this time believed that they were guilty. People couldn't fathom parents doing this to their boys. They were innocent. Yeah, and also the fact that a man doing it to his boys, that wasn't talked about or heard of back then. Nobody even really thought that happened, But now that we're all more aware, because a lot of people just thought they were lying, But now that we're more aware, it would have went such a different way. It's such a different way. Just sad. That's why I think they need to look at it again. No, Zeke isn't my because remember, Zeke is not only my dog, he's my grandma's, my mom's here. So they would, yeah, I'm not bringing him. All right, so let's see what else we have here. That was Menendez. Oh, wait, here's another. Hold on, here's another Menendez one. Let's see. It's about, I don't know, it might say basically the same stuff, but let's see. This is on Court TV. Just checking. Let's see what they, oh yeah, they might give the opinion on what they think. Hold on, let's watch it and see. We could skip through it if it's not. Okay, so new evidence in Menendez. So this is court TV. Check it out.
Wilcott, it has been 30 years since Eric and Lyle Menendez faced their first trial for the murders of their parents. And our Court TV cameras brought you every moment of that trial. And now the case is back in the news.
Attorneys for the Menendez brothers say new evidence shows that their convictions and life sentences should be overturned.
Now, during their trial, the brothers never denied killing Kitty and Jose Menendez. Instead, their attorneys argued they acted in self-defense after a lifetime of abuse at the hands of their father.
What is the new evidence? It is a letter sent by Eric Menendez to his cousin, Andy Cano, 8 months before the murder. So that would have been back in December of 1988. In that letter, it detailed his father's abuse. The letter was discovered allegedly or apparently several years ago by a family member and was never presented in court.
Now, in it, Eric says in part, "It's still happening, Andy, but it's worse for me now. I never know when it's going to happen, and it's driving me crazy. Every night, I stay up thinking he might come in. I need to put it out of my mind."
Also included in the petition, a signed affidavit by Roy Rosello, a former member of the boy band Menudo. He claims that he too was raped by Jose Menendez, who at the time was an executive with RCA Records. Joining us now, criminal defense attorney representing the Menendez brothers, Mark Garagos. Mark, great to always have you on our show, but in particular to talk about this case, because I have to tell you, I've told Michael, I was captivated by this case, by this trial, by these boys, by their allegations, all of it. And I remember watching it at the time and thinking, I just don't know that I believe what happened to them or what they say happened to them. But yet now you have this letter, pretty great evidence, I would say.
Well, it's and thank you. Always enjoy seeing you as well. The evidence, I think, is not only compelling, it's horrifying. And when you combine it with the declaration by the young man who was then a young man at Menudo, anybody who had any doubts, I think has been disabused. Then combine this, because I don't think people quite understand this, and maybe until I dug into it, I admit to being in the same position. You know, but what happened between the first trial and the second trial is the first trial, all of this evidence was allowed in, not the letter, obviously, that came after the fact a couple of years ago, as you mentioned, but there was a hung jury. Half of the jury found that they would have been not guilty of the murder. That wasn't going to, they weren't going to get acquitted. It was just that they would have had something that eliminated malice and imperfect self-defense, which would have given you a manslaughter. Before the second trial, and what happened in the interim was the acquittal of O.J. Simpson, the judge in this case, same trial judge, reversed himself, and he actually invited the prosecution to reverse themselves, got into the second trial, did not give the imperfect self-defense, excluded much of the evidence of the abuse, and then probably the coup de grace really for them, engineering the guilty, was allowing the prosecutor to get up in closing and argue that it was an abuse excuse, that they had just made it up and that it wasn't true. And that's, you know, fast forward 33 years later from when this event took place, and almost 30 years since the trial, society's in a wholly different place. Jose Menendez, by all accounts, was a monster now. I mean, there's no other way to look at it.
You know, one of the obstacles facing, I believe, this case is, you know, I was working at Court TV back then, Mark. I don't know if you remember, me and my colleague, Beth Karras, covered some of that case. And this was the case, really. It wasn't O.J. People think O.J. put Court TV on the map. It was this case. Everyone knew about the Menendez case. So my question to you is, Is it going to be an obstacle for you, the fact that oftentimes to get this type of case open, to bring in this new evidence, it has to have not been discovered back then and should not have been discovered? Is that going to be an obstacle for you, for a court to say, you know what, okay, we see the evidence, but this is something that should have or could have been discovered back then?
Well, remember, this letter was apparently went to Andy. Andy has passed away. It was in his effects. Nobody had discovered it until just a couple of years ago, number one. Number two, if you listen to one of the, I mean, you guys did an excellent setup package. The only thing, if I were producing this, one of the things I would have suggested is to have listened to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals argument, because I've listened to the audio, and at least one of the judges in the Ninth Circuit understood what happened. Basically, to quote the judge from the Ninth Circuit, they ginned up rules and changed the rules so they could engineer a conviction the second time around. I mean, in fundamental fairness, this case should be looked at again from an equitable standpoint. And now, with this kind of devastating evidence, again, that shows clearly that there was this horrific abuse going on, I think cooler heads after 3 decades will prevail.
And, you know, one of the other things is, and as a former judge, I always hate when there's any issue with the integrity of a judge on the bench, and to hear that basically they said, okay, we're not going to let you consider that. We're going to take that off the table, and really gerrymandering is what I would call it from the bench. But when you hear those kinds of things happening, it affects not just obviously your clients, but really our whole judicial system, because that's not the way it's supposed to work. So what do you envision? What do you hope for as an outcome? Because the reality is these two have been in jail for a very long time.
Well, remember, if they had been convicted of a manslaughter, they still would have done a substantial amount of time. I haven't taken a look at what a voluntary was with use back then, but I would imagine it would have long since been served. What I would hope is that, as I said, cooler heads prevail, and that we realize that these two men, because they're now in have been in custody all of this time, would be given the chance to get out and to lead whatever semblance of a life they can lead at this point. Because 33 actual years for what I would submit, if had been tried today. I've had cases in the last 5 years, actually last 8 years, in which the abuse, where the abuse paled in comparison to this, where jurors actually wanted to acquit. And so you have to wonder, has society come an incredible distance in 3 decades, almost 3.5 decades, to understand that these kinds of horrific things really do happen and take place.
And I do agree with you. In the last 30 plus years, there's a huge difference of the awareness and treatment of sexual abuse.
Yeah. You know what's interesting, Mark? When you talk about trying this case in 1998 and you talk about trying it now, one of the things that I think is a big difference is that a lot of people I talk to about this evidence say, well, it wouldn't help the self-defense claim because the abuse wasn't imminent. It wasn't happening. But what we know about this type of thing is the air of fear that this type of situation creates for young people. And I think that would be an area that maybe the prosecution would have to consider. Do you expect, if this is successful, that they might try this case again, or look at it and say things have changed and maybe justice has been served?
Well, I would hope the latter, obviously. I remember trying cases in the 90s where domestic violence cases, murder cases, where it was females who were shooting. I remember one specifically I tried in the LA Superior Court where it was a hung jury between manslaughter and murder. And that was, people were still trying to get their arms around this idea of domestic abuse back in the 90s, in the mid 90s. And so this it's hard to kind of transport yourself, if you will, back to the 90s, but we've made incredible strides since then, understanding the damage that this kind of abuse does, is what this rape does to people, and the threat. And by the way, I'm not arguing, and people have to understand this, when this was presented, when this evidence was actually presented to a jury very ably by Leslie Abramson, in the first trial, half the jurors voted to acquit on the murder charge. So that was back then. Can you imagine if this case was tried now?
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, it's an excellent point, and I absolutely agree with you. Let's talk about how they are, because the reality is, you see pictures. I've seen some interviews with them, and they look happy as they're incarcerated. I'm not suggesting that's where they're going to be happy, but they look like they are. They're smiling. How in the world are they doing handling their truth and still sitting in jails 30 plus years later?
Well, look, the reality is they both live basically their entire adult lives incarcerated, and so you either come to grips with that and deal with it, or you don't. And they've decided they're going to deal with it. I think that that also speaks volumes as to whether or not taxpayers need to have warehoused these young men for the rest of their life. I don't think that anybody would say that that's the case, and certainly not the victims. I mean, if you talk to, one of the interesting things here is that, at least in the first trial, relatives of the victims, Jose and Kitty, got up there and testified about some of these horrific things were going on. I mean, remember, one of the things they testified to is that there was a rule in the house that if Jose was in the room with Eric, that you could not go down the hallway. Can you imagine what that, if you presented that today in 2023? And if you've got all of we now have Victims' Bill of Rights in California. If all anybody who, by the definition, the constitutional definition of a victim, says these boys were victims as well and deserve to be out, why wouldn't you give that some credit and some cachet, so to speak?
And the trauma that's caused, that we now know and talk about trauma-informed work and the trauma caused to people who undergo sexual abuse and physical abuse. But really, when you say some of these details, I think it reminds us all who are familiar with the first trial that you can understand in today's world the anger that these two boys would have as a result of the abuse they've suffered.
Yeah, let me ask you about the abuse suffered by Roy Rossello. I'm sorry, Mark, to cut you off. That abuse, how does that line up with the stories being told by Eric and Lyle? Does it seem to be a pattern? Because I think that would certainly be helpful to your case if that is the case.
I think that's exactly why, because you can almost hear what a naysayer would say. A naysayer would say, well, they wrote that as part of the letter was written. Why didn't they produce it? Blah, blah, blah. Well, my retort would be, it was 8 months before, and the person who it was addressed to ended up dying. Then the retort is, well, maybe they planned to concoct this. That was basically the argument that the prosecutor made at the second trial, after having the chutzpah to get all of this evidence excluded at the behest of the judge. So then the question becomes, well, how do you corroborate it? That's where the declaration comes in. The declaration comes in, to me, that to quote an old LAPD detective who had exculpated a client of mine in a different case, he used the expression, that puts a hat on it. So that to my mind, you don't get any more convincing evidence 33 years after the fact than somebody who in real time was suffering the same kind of abuse. And mind you, I think part of what the trouble we have, or the struggle we have, people can't imagine a father doing this with his son. I mean, that crosses virtually every taboo that we grow up with.
Yeah, you know, it's certainly compelling evidence. That I will absolutely say. We will be watching, seeing how this plays out. Mark Garagos, and hopefully we will be talking to you throughout this process to see where this.
Peyton, I said hi. Go back. I said hi right when you came in. I go, hi, Peyton, like as soon as I saw your first text or your first message. I swear. Go look. Go rewind it about right when you first came in. You'll see I say, hi, Peyton. I know you were somewhat joking, but I did say hi. I promise. Did anybody else hear me say that? Somebody did it? I'm just curious. Because what if I just said it in my head and I didn't? But I'm almost sure I said it out loud. Anybody else remember? I just want to know. But I bet, Peyton, go rewind it. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, everybody that everybody's gonna have different opinions. So yeah, that's how you feel. I disagree with that, but yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people that feel like you feel too. But I do believe like if they're let out, they should get, counseling and stuff, like maybe lifelong counseling, because they had to endure a lot, so they're gonna need help trying to like me and especially because they are life in prison is so different than life out. So they're gonna have to learn if they do get out, like learn how to manage that outside of prison. Not only like if they didn't have to go through the abuse by their father or by both parents, but just the fact that they spent that much time in prison they would need, some managing of being on the outside world. But that mixed with the abuse, like that together, I feel like they're definitely, I feel like a lifelong therapy. And I don't think they'd be against it, I think they'd be happy to get it. And I just don't think that they're going to be like a danger to the community or anything. I think they would probably help. I feel like they would probably do something good outside. If they got out, they would probably like educate others. Um, I don't know. I just feel like they would. I feel like they're smart boys or smart guys, and I just think they could be actually helpful. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if there's like what's the chance of them getting out. I don't know if it's like really rare or if there is a good chance that maybe they could get that overturned. I don't know. I feel like there has to be some kind of like loop, like some like lawyer that can work its way and find some stuff where they're able to do it. So. Oh, leaf Liz. Shell shock. Yeah, I've heard that. I heard that. Peyton, are you gonna go back and listen? Just because now I'm worried you're not even hearing me now, maybe. Did you hear me when I said I did say hi to you back when you first came in? Hey, Satara. Satara? Is that how you say it? Hey, Hawk's Nest. I know, me too. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes, I agree. Exactly. I agree. Peyton, will you like answer? You did hear me say hi right when you first came in. This is frustrating because I don't know if you're like hearing me. Go rewind it. I'm about to share my screen and rewind it and show you that I said hi right when you came in. And sometimes I do miss saying hi to people, but I actually did like right away. Oh, well. Huh. See, that's what I knew it. So just remember Like, since I'm up here talking, it's not gonna always be, like, in chat, like, typed up. So, like, if you're, like, type where you, watch if you just do live chats just to chat in the chat and you don't listen, then of course you're gonna miss people saying hi, the creator, because the creator does say hi vocally a lot. So, yeah, I thought though, I was thinking that you do that a lot. No, I'm not even meaning anything bad, but, like, part of me thought maybe a lot of the times you are just, like, chatting, that you're not actually, uh, like, have the volume up, so that does make sense. I had a feeling that you do that a lot. Um, and I don't mean anything bad about that. Sometimes you could just tell because you're just, like, chatting about other stuff in the chat, which is fine. No, God, I'm, like, digging myself in a hole. I feel like it's coming out all wrong. But sometimes people can't. Let's say you're, like, at work or you're, like, and you don't have your headphones and you just wanna, like, say hi to some people or whatever. Sometimes you can't have the volume on, so anyway, I'm gonna just shut up. I'm pretty sensitive too, a lot too, so I understand. Yeah, at work and stuff. I get it. Thanks. Steph sells Steph sells stuff by the seashore. No, you're right, it is. But I actually did say hi to Peyton right away. That's why I was like, I keep making a point because the day that I actually do, you don't hear me. It's okay. And I don't even know if you're hearing me now, so watch. There you go. In case if you have it on mute. All right, so that was about over. So let's take that down. I'm about to go downstairs and make sure the air's on. I'm freaking. Oh yeah, it is. I feel it now. Or is that? Sometimes like living with my grandma, like they'll have the heat on and it's like be like sweating. All right. So Menendez, let's hope you guys, I'll try to keep you updated. I really hope that they get a second chance and they get out. And I know there's people that disagree. Toy, what was your name? Toy something. Hold on. Why am I not remembering the second part of your name? Let me look. Toy. Where are you? Oh, Toy Squirrel. Yeah. So yeah, there's gonna be people that disagree, but I feel really strong on, my thoughts. And I'm sure the opposite, people that disagree feel strong, but I hope they're able to get out. 33 years, I think they said. So let's see, 23 and then 92, that would be 30. So I must be missing. Hold on a second. That would only be 31 then. So maybe they actually got arrested like in 1990. I don't know why I have 92 of when they actually got arrested, but let me just see real quick. But either or, I mean, that's over 30 years. I think they've done their time, dude. I think manslaughter, they've done 3 manslaughter sentences, and they've done like hold on, let me see something. What a second degree. I just had that up too. I just want to see. I forget because I was looking it up for the yeah, even if you look at second degree murder in California, it's 15 years to life. That means, let's say they get the minimum 15 years. I mean, that would be like 2 second degrees if they got the minimum. So, I mean, I think they've done their time. Yeah, they made a mistake, a bad mistake, but over 30 years, I think they served their freaking sentence. Like, come on. No, I'm not talking to you, Toy. I'm talking about like judge. I just hope they look at it or the system. That would be so awesome. All right, so let's move on to the next case. So we have oh, okay. So let's do hold on, let me see if I want to do that next. Actually, let's just do Kegan Kline real quick because that's just like one video, one real quick thing. Because the other one I was gonna say might be a little bit longer. So we'll do that after Kegan Kline. So judge grants continuance in sentencing for Kegan Kline. It sounds like he's thinking about like going back on his guilty plea or something. Let's see what it says here. Um, So Kegan Kline, those of you guys that might not have follow the Delphi case, so he's the guy that had that Anthony Shots profile, which he used like catfish and basically used this cute guy from Alaska. He's actually a police officer and like he was a model or whatever. He used him pretending like that's who he was, right? And he set up this Anthony Shots profile where people would talk, like underage girls would talk to him. Well, let me get the video up and then I'll finish what I'm saying. Okay. So underage girls, he'd like talk to underage girls. Supposedly, he claims that he's never acted on it, like he's never like met him physically, but he would just like have him send videos, and it's still inappropriate. Let's say even if he hadn't met anybody, like physically met anybody, he would like send them videos, photos, and talk, like pervert, just gross, So it was underage. So he talked to Libby, one of the victims from Delphi. So Delphi was the one with Abby and Libby. They got on the bridge, the Delphi Bridge, the Monon High Bridge. They have that video, the guy down the hill. They have the little video, the clip, and the audio and stuff. And they still haven't caught him. And it's been over 5 years. So they arrested what's his name? Richard Allen. But Kegan Kline was arrested first, and they thought he had some kind of link because he talked to Libby. I think it was that day too, but Libby was talking to the Anthony Shots profile, right? So there was like rumors, or people were wondering, did he set something up? Like, did Kegan, was it Kegan? Did Kegan, talk to him? Hey, meet me by the bridge. We'll meet. And then he did it. Or is he the one that set him up? So a lot of us don't think that it probably was him that actually was there on the bridge, but did he somehow set it up through his Anthony Shots profile or somebody else? Because there was other guys using it, I guess, right? To meet underage girls, we think. So did he somehow set it up where he had her meet and then sent somebody else to meet him because they wanted to meet them and what, their plan? Or was he the driver, or is he involved somehow? Did Richard Allen use the profile? Is he the one that kind of like connected it? We don't know if he is connected. The weird thing is they were looking in the what was it, the one lake or whatever, for a weapon, a gun or whatever. And then like shortly after they were searching, which it was connected to the Delphi murder, they made it seem. And then shortly after that, they arrested Richard Allen. So it just seems so weird, over 5 years, nothing. And then we hear Kegan Kline's talking, and then he said something where they made him search the I forget what the body of water was, just some little creek or lake or whatever. What was it called? Wabash River. Sorry, Wabash River. They searched that for like a week. Not even sure. I don't think they found anything, but and then all of a sudden, then they arrest Richard Allen. And that was the first person they've ever arrested for the murder. Like they have never arrested anybody for the murder. They've had people where they're like, they thought maybe connected and they were arrested for other things, but that was his charge. All right. Then they do a press conference where it sounds like law enforcement isn't satisfied with just Richard. It sounds like they think that there's a possibility there could be somebody else involved. So then it goes back, is Kegan somehow involved? Did he set that up? I don't know. I'm not sure. It's just weird that what were they, that gun that they were searching for? Are they thinking that was the gun used? And if so, then Kegan's the one that gave him that information. How would he have known? Was he the driver? Did he help? Like, let's say Richard Allen's the one that did it, and then did Richard give him the gun to hide? I have no idea. But so that's what we're going to look at now. So he's been arrested under other charges, a lot of like CP charges for talking to underage girls online and stuff. So he's probably going to be in there for a long time. So he originally pled guilty, right? After like so long talking and I think he took like some deal, if I'm remembering right. But now it sounds like he might be trying to change that. So, and then it has a little video of him walking. All right, here we go. Okay, here.
The child pornography case against Kegan Kline is not decided as it was expected this morning. The man who pleaded guilty to 25 charges asked for and received a continuance of his sentencing hearing. And now Rich Nye is live at the Miami County Courthouse with this unexpected turn in the case. Rich?
For sure, Karen. Here in the courthouse this morning, Kegan Kline claims that there is some evidence that he hasn't had a chance to review. As attorney says that based on that evidence, Kline may actually want to withdraw his guilty plea. So the judge granted a continuance, and the sentencing hearing for Kegan Kline is now delayed for over 2 months until July 27th. We do now have video of Kegan Kline, and we can show that to you as Kegan was leaving the courthouse today after his hearing, and that hearing was delayed for over an hour this morning. And when it started, we found out why. Kline's attorney asked for a continuance of the sentencing. The prosecution argued strongly against that delay. The prosecution said all the evidence has been available to Kline for quite some time, and there's nothing new that he hasn't had time to review. The prosecution said Kline just didn't want to face the music and was trying to drag things out. Kline had been held at the Miami County Jail for over 2.5 years. He was taken back there about an hour and a half ago. Now, last Kline pleaded guilty to 25 charges that include child solicitation, child exploitation, possession of child pornography, synthetic identity deception, and obstruction of justice. All this attention to this case is because Kline was connected to the Delphi murders investigation because Kline admitted that he created the catfish social media profile, Anthony Schatz. And that profile was one of the last communications with Libby German before her death. Now, Kline has never been charged in those murders or even been named a suspect, but we had hoped to learn today if perhaps Kline had provided some evidence in the investigation, perhaps even some evidence that led to the arrest of Richard Allen. But now today, Karen, we're not even sure if Kline wants to take back that guilty plea. He'll be back in court for a status hearing conference on June 1st.
All right. Thank you, Rich.
So he said something that led to the arrest of Richard Allen, which I think is a good possibility because it came like right after he was supposedly talking, and then they arrest Richard Allen. Then wouldn't that mean that he's somehow connected? Like he knows more about this, about the murders, he knows something about it that he's able to give information about Richard Allen, which like I said, we don't know 100% if that's true, but that's just what, we think because of how everything happened. So, that's that. Before I forget, do you guys, let me take this off the screen real quick. So, do you guys remember, Island Girl? My eyebrow. I can't believe I cut that all off. Do you guys remember Island Girl? So she's been watching me for a long time, and then she kind of disappeared for a little bit, and then she came back a couple months ago, and she's been in live chat. How many of you guys remember her? Tennessee, yeah, of course you would, because Monty. Well, she died. 44 years old. Her sister-in-law emailed me last week. I was just like so sad because every time in chat, like she started coming in chat again and in comments, and she emailed me, and I never got a chance to respond to the email, but I always responded to her in comments and stuff. But her last email to me was telling me how she just had to put down her dog. This was in February. She just had to put down her dog, and she just wasn't doing very well. So not like we just having trouble because she put down her dog, right? And she said that she's just she couldn't bring herself to watch too much true crime because it was just like kind of depressing. So that's where she's been. She said, I just want to tell you where I've been for a little bit. But then she started coming, back around again and chatting. But I have no idea how. I'm waiting for her sister-in-law to respond. But her sister-in-law's message, okay, it says something like she, meaning her real name's Allison. So Allison, Island Girl, wanted me to tell you, and this is what confuses me. She wanted me to tell you what happened, basically her dying. So then it makes me think, oh, so that means that it wasn't like a sudden death. That means she like knew, like was she sick and she knew she was gonna die for her to have said, can you tell her? You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, I'm thinking, so that she was probably sick, right? So then why didn't she say anything? And it makes me sad. And I'm thinking, like, trying to go back through like what she's ever said in like chats. Did she ever tell me? Did I miss something and she told me she was sick and I just missed it? So I don't know if she ever said anything. Does anybody remember? Did she ever say that she was sick or anything? So I wrote her sister-in-law back and I said, well, how? Like, what happened? And she hasn't wrote me back yet. So I don't know if it was like sudden. I don't think because of what she said. So I just wonder what happened. She was so young. And I really don't think she ever said that she was sick. But like I said, I could have missed it. Sometimes you miss stuff in chat. So I know it is. Mez or Tennessee, do you remember ever saying she was sick or anything by any chance? Yeah, Island Girl. She was so sweet. Hi, Julie. I don't know. It doesn't look like you guys even remember her saying that either. So maybe she just didn't, or maybe I misunderstood that email, or she mistyped or something, but it says that she wanted me to tell you what happened, or that she died. But I'm thinking, like, how could she have told you that if she wasn't like knew it was going to happen? If it wasn't because if it was like a sudden thing, she wouldn't have been able to say that, right? So I don't know. Yeah, she was pretty awesome, or she was awesome. I don't know why I added that pretty awesome. She was really awesome. Oh. Okay, so oh yeah, rest in peace. Here, actually, I could share here. Hold on one second. I could share her obituary real quick. It has a picture of her and her dog, which I'm guessing is probably her dog that she had to put down. One second. Yeah, she didn't respond yet about how it happened. All right, let me bring it up. A second. One second, I gotta find it. It has a nice picture, but wait, hold on. April, no, I must have overlooked it. One second. Because it was probably just like last week that. Oh, here it is. Okay. So. Oh, no, it was. Okay. So the person that emailed me said Allison is her sister-in-law or is their sister-in-law. So I don't know if it's a guy or it sounds like the name is a guy. So it's a guy. So it's probably her brother, Allison's brother-in-law, wouldn't it? If he's calling her sister, his sister-in-law. So yeah. All right, let me share my screen and I'll just show you a picture. And it's sad. It's just so weird that you could be talking to somebody, even like just on comments one day and then all of a sudden they're gone. It's just really weird. I don't take death very good. I can't understand it. I know a lot of people are like that and some people aren't, but I'm one of those people I can't. It freaks me out. I just don't understand. It makes no sense to me. Like, it's just like, it makes no sense. All right. Like, how could somebody be there and then they're not? All right. Hold on. So that's her. So it doesn't say on here how. Just says of Texas, born February 2nd. Graduated from Northbrook with honors, was a member of Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. On to graduate Lone Star College, served her community by graduating from Galveston County Citizens Police Academy. Wow. Oh yeah, she was preceded in death by her faithful fur baby Chelsea, and that was the one she emailed me that she had to put him down or put her down. She emailed me in February, like I had to put my dog Chelsea down. Love the beach, ocean life, having her toes in the sand, living carefree life. She loved her Yoda. She's loved by many and will continue to live on through us. Please donate to the Humane Society or your local animal shelter. She's a strong advocate of mental health awareness. We'd appreciate helping spread her message. Green equals mental health awareness. Lime green is depression awareness. So, yeah. I don't know. I hope he responds and lets me know. Like, I just want to know what happened, you know? Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, thanks, guys. Island girl, we miss you. Yay. Or no, I shouldn't say yay. It's just, I'm sad. I wish I could have said bye or I don't know. Like if she was, I don't know. It's just, I wonder how long she was sick. Yeah, 44, it said, Jamie. She just turned 44 in February. So. I know. Eve. I know. It's sad. Like right after I saw it, I texted Juliet. I'm like, we gotta just like live like you just never know. Like you just never know. So like make sure that we just do everything we can. I mean, because it's like you just don't know. So I just live life and do what you want to do and just do it. You know, I know that's not very good. That's not really well worded. But like it almost makes me want to like just jump in the car and leave and go do everything I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And the old me, I used to be more like that, but then like in the end it was like I had nothing to show, like I had no savings, no anything. But now that I'm like trying to be like that kind of person, then it makes me think, well, wait, like we don't even know, you're not even guaranteed tomorrow. So should I just go back to the way I was and who cares if I have anything for the future, you know? So I don't know. That's one thing that I struggle with in my head. You know, like should I just go and just who cares? Just spend what I got, go do what I want. Who cares? Like or be smart, but then like what if you don't ever get to enjoy it because you're I don't know. What do you guys think? Oh, it's tricky. Hi, Evil Exists. Thanks for coming. Where are you at? Wait, hold on. I just saw your message. Where did it go? Oh, there we go. Yay! I'm glad you got it too. Yes. So, yeah. Live like you're yes. Yeah. So it's like, how do you find that nice balance? Because like I'm a very extreme person. I think it's like my addictive personality. So it's like I don't I go like if I'm gonna do it, I'll probably like go all for like what's the word for it? Like really go for it, or I really don't. I don't know how to yeah. Anyway, I know, yes. That's I always think of it, it's like you can't take it with you, so why not just like a part of me like even wants to like give it like just like here, just give it to people that need it because it's like you can't take it. Aw. Yay. How old are your kids? That's see, yeah. That's where I'm struggling. Like, should I try to have like a savings or not? Because what's the point? I know there is a point, but what if you never make it to that point to enjoy your saving? Don't you want to just like enjoy it with the people you love? So it's just tricky. And but then it's like then like what if you get to that point and then you don't have that to go enjoy it. Man, my tongue's all brown from this coffee. I just saw finish it. I'll go brush my tongue. I have one of those tongue brushes and then those like scrapers. I'm like obsessed with it. But anyway, if you're a coffee drinker, because that coffee, especially the coffee I drink, the Nespresso, it's very well, it's empty now. It's very like what's the word for it? It's pretty serious coffee. It's really so good though, but it's like very strong and anyway, I would love to do that. That like even back like years ago in high school, like my dream of retirement is not to like have this big house or like, what I want. Like ultimately my dream would be to like to get a big RV or a RV and like travel the country and just like live on the road. I would love that. And now my job would enable me because I could cover the cases from the road. I would absolutely love that. I'm not quite there yet to be able to afford one. I guess you could rent one, but it would probably be smarter to buy one. But actually, so I watched this girl. I've talked about her Trailer Trash Tammy, where me and Julia went to see her stand up last time we got together. So she bought an RV to go on tour. So she's like, I invested. I bought like a really nice RV, and everything was going wrong with it. Everything was breaking and everything. So she ended up selling it, and they just got like an SUV and just stayed in hotels or whatever. So that's was like, man, that is scary. Like you spend all your money because the RVs are expensive. I mean, you have to spend a lot of money and then like it just breaks. But I guess I can't think that way. But that would be my ultimate dream, man. At least to be able to but also maybe have a backup where like, because eventually you're gonna need a permanent place. But let's say you're done where you're able to also have a place, like go get an apartment or something, I don't know. I don't know. I gotta find a good balance, but yeah, man. All right, so oh yeah. My teeth are pretty good. I feel like it's my tongue, like I feel like as an OC I don't know if that's even an OCD, but I do it at least twice a day when I wake up. I do like you have like those little rubber brushes, but they have little spikes or whatever. I use that, and then I got a kit that has like 3 different scrapers, but I only use 2 of them. The other one, it seems like it's just the same as the other one, but it's just not as good. So you have one, and then I have the one that's like, I'm not describing it, but so I use those all the time. But thank God, like as much as coffee I drink, somehow I'm able to get it off my teeth. It's probably because I'm like OCD about brushing my teeth. See, I use OCD kind of loosely. That wouldn't be like when I say that wouldn't be like a part of the disorder necessarily. It's just like kind of a normal routine, but like I do have OCD with the thoughts. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know how, because I think my bottom teeth are so crooked. I wanna get a I've never had braces or anything, but my bottom teeth, because my front teeth are pretty straight for not having braces. I mean, they're okay. I'm not that unhappy about it, but my bottom teeth, I am. So I'm wondering if I could get, like, a retainer to straighten it. I guess, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, Shauna is good. She helped me. So, yes, definitely. Alright, I keep getting all these messages, hold on. Yeah, I do that. I use mouthwash, I floss. Um, I skip some days flossing. No, so I don't floss every day, I have to admit. I try to floss as much. I mean, some days it'll be every day, but I mean, some days I forget. Um, and then I use mouthwash, brush my teeth, and then I do the tongue thing where I scrape my tongue. And that's about all. How are we Oh, get those little things, those little, what are they called? The floss things where you just go, they're so much easier than getting the floss and, you just I don't even know what those are called, but I get those, and it's just like real quick. Angie, hey. Look at the cute doggy in your picture. Are they called pickers? Yes, they are. I probably wouldn't floss as much if I had to use the other stuff, because the other stuff would always make me mad because it'd slip, and I mean, I know you could wrap it around, but it's just it's not that hard, but it's it's more of an inconvenience than those pickers. Flossers, pickers, flossers, teeth pickers. Yeah. Oh, we're funny. Are you Batman? Wait, what time is it? Oh, Saturday night little drinky drink. Is that what you mean? What are you drinking? Oh, Katie. Already. Yeah, start with a camper, Rosemary. Yeah, I could. Something, you're right. Wait, Invisalign, is that what Invisalign's to straighten your teeth, right? Is that what you mean? Maybe I should try. Do you need a, you could just buy them and do it yourself or what? I used to do that, Rosemary. I used to do it with my toothbrush. And then one day, like a couple years ago, like I saw the oh no, actually I think it came with it. I think one time it actually came, one of my toothbrushes came with the tongue brush. And so I tried it and I'm like, wow, I like this. So now I'm like hooked on that. But I used to just use my toothbrush too. It works. But for some reason, if you try the rubber ones that have the little spikes, I feel like those work better and they're easier on your tongue. But they actually do a better job, I feel like, but they leave it like it feels like it's like more like that's what it's supposed to be more than the brush going over it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but oh, I know. Me too. Evil exists. I want to try to live stream it. That's not this Monday, it's next Monday, right? So I'm wondering what channel. Is it gonna be live or are we gonna have to wait till after and then get a news clip after? I wonder, because I wanna live stream it if it's live, you know? But I don't know if it'll be like live or after. You know what I'm saying? Because it just depends how they have it set up. What do you think? That is can wait, what are you saying? It's canceled? What's going on? I missed something. Wait. What's canceled? Hold on. Okay, Julie. Yeah, I might see. Oh, it's this Monday? Like in a couple days? Oh, okay. What time? Do you know? Oh, I know the preliminaries canceled because they went to the grand jury and they indicted them, which is good. They're going to trial. But it's kind of disappointing because I wanted to see what they had. Like I wanted to see more evidence and see like I wanted to learn something new. That would have been good. Um so yeah. Oh yeah, yep. And the arraignment is supposed to be I thought it was next Monday, but I guess it's this Monday. Okay. 9 a.m. All right, I'll have to make sure I'm up. But when do you think it'll be replayed on court TV? Like, do you think it'll be like right after, or do you think that we're gonna have to wait till like the afternoon or evening? I'll try to be up and we can watch it together. So, okay. If you guys see it come up, just wait to watch. No, I can't do that. But like, because I'll have to wait. If they don't do it live, I'll have to wait till one of the channels puts it out and then I could put it out like during a live stream. But, I might like not catch it like the minute it comes out. So I might be like, let's say hour, half hour, whatever after before I see it. Well, either way, you could still come watch it and we could chat about it. Because it's not like we're gonna learn anything new. I'm like you, Evil Exist. I like to just be able to see, first of all, what he looks like, read like body, behavior, just see how he acts and stuff. Because I know in arraignment, you're not gonna learn anything, but it's just I'm like a lot of us are interested just to watch the person and just watch. I don't know, And then some people will probably be bored with that, but I like seeing the person and just see, being a little nosy and no, actually, I think it's yeah, like we like to read, like see their face, their body language, just kind of feel it out, feel them out, and just see how they are, how they act and stuff. So yeah. Well, yeah, that's what it is. It is a Zoom, like because it's gonna be all Zoom, is what I heard. So he's not gonna like be in court. It'll be like Zoomed. So, but what I'm wondering is if it's gonna be a replay. And then how does court, let's say you're saying court TV is the one that's going to do it. How do they get that originally, like right away? Is what I don't understand. Because if it's not live streamed, then how do they get the access to it? I guess they probably contact them like ahead of time. But sometimes I've contacted like things like that. And by the time I get it, it's like way after everybody else. So it's like, how did like some of these places make sure they get it like first? It doesn't seem fair though, because is it just because they're like this bigger and they just like, oh, court TV, so we'll make sure they get it, and like us, anybody else that requests it, we have to wait like a week, or you know what I'm saying? I don't get that. It should just be like any media, you know what I'm saying? It should just be equal, but I don't know. Oh, I thought he was gonna be on Zoom. Are you saying he's gonna be in the courtroom? I must have misunderstood. I thought he was gonna be virtual too. Or no? Oh my god, it is Alibi? Oh, so they actually I see. So it's actually their oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have connections like that. I would have to be there and have like my camera guy. I got a camera guy. Have him go apply and have him go. uh, go to Idaho for me. Oh, thanks, Evil. What are you at? You're probably already past that, huh? I can't wait too. Thank you, though. Thank you. Yeah. Where are you at, Evil? If you don't mind me asking. You don't have to say. If you don't, I know some people don't like to share. It's up to you, but if you want to answer, you can. um, Judge John Judge. JJJ. That's funny. Oh, wow. Why didn't know you were in a different country. Wow. Okay. I never knew that. You are far away. Huh. Cool. Yeah, it probably is. Oh, okay. Well, you'll get there because I've had my channel a lot longer than you, so you're doing freaking really good. Definitely. You'll get there for sure. Wait, which one, Shauna? Because there's always like, I feel like you could find like TikTokers involved in like everything, I feel like. But hold on, let me think. The one I just watched where there's a TikToker. Hold on. Where she killed, wait, hold on. God, because I've seen like a lot of different TikTokers. I just watched something the other day. It was a girl TikToker that killed. Was it she killed her boyfriend or something? Oh, okay, never mind. Oh, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, Evil Exists is really good. So they do like you do like short like clips of really interesting things, true crime obviously, but like, just like really interesting just like clips of things. So it's um like shorter videos, which is good because a lot of people that's what they like, they don't have long attention spans and it's like perfect. So it's like just like little interesting clips of something. Does that make sense? Did I do a bad job at describing your channel? I don't know. Maybe somebody else describe it better, but I like your channel definitely. Oh, are you talking about that case? Is that what you're talking about, Shauna, when you said TikToker? Yes! Oh my god. Wait, when is that? That was the crazy thing is why didn't she just stop? Why did she continue after like she probably got so much warning, like she got enough time to like just stop and she would not stop. She just kept making videos. Even after it's like why don't you just stop? Like like it's not worth it. Hi Auntie Ma'am. Oh, cool. That makes me feel honored. um, wait, what? She actually videotaped her pretending to use the complaint for toilet paper. Oh my god. Yeah. And my stomach is growling. Is that who I'm thinking of? Where she murdered her boyfriend, right? And wait. Oh my god, it's like on the tip of my memory. I can't fully grasp it, but it was just like a few days ago I watched it. I just want to see if I could find. I'm not finding it. I don't know. Oh wait, I'll put in the name you said to see if it's the same one. Hold on. What was the name? Courtney Kline. I'll see if I recognize the picture. Hold on. Just to see. Let's see. Ooh, I spelled it wrong. Okay, let's see. Yes, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one I was watching. Where it was like broke up, they got back together. She said that she threw a knife, like, originally it was like, self-defense. She, he was coming at her and she threw the knife like an accident. She didn't mean to do it. But then the autopsy report came out and they said this the knife was like jabbed in. Like there's no way you could have thrown it and got it the way she did it. It was definitely intentional. Um and yeah, crazy. Because at first they weren't even gonna do anything. It was just like self-defense, nothing, and the family's, like, outraged, and then when it came out that there's no way that her story is right, now she's being charged with second-degree murder. So, but wasn't it that there's the 911 call. So she calls 911 and you hear him in the background and he's like, "I can't feel my arm." And she's like, "Oh my God, baby, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." And she, calls 911 and you hear him go, I can't feel my arm." He ends up dying. So I watched a clip where she's in the room, like, in the police station, I'm sure, and they tell her that he died. And she's like, "Oh, you're joking." And she asked the guy, "Can you give me a hug? Is this inappropriate? Can I have a hug?" She asked one of the guys for a hug. Um, yeah, man. Anyway. Oh, she what? Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is, oh, wait, Shauna, are you talking about this case? Or what do you mean? Are you talking about something else? Oh. Oh, you're talking about something else. Okay. Oh, she did? Wow. All right, what I'm gonna do, guys, is my stomach. I feel like I'm so hungry, but I don't want to end it yet. So I'm gonna play one of the other videos I'm gonna play and then run down and just get a snack. What time is it? 2:55. All right. Um, oh, but the Samuel Olsen one, that one I'm gonna have to be up here for. Um, let me see. Why don't we do why don't we watch? Hold on. I know we talk about what happened to Crystal Smith, but let's just watch maybe a part of that while I go get a snack. So Crystal Smith is Aiden Fucci's mom she basically got what, 30 days in jail and what, 5 years probation for basically tampering with evidence. She was washing Aiden Fucci, his jeans. She was washing the blood out of his jeans. He's the one that just got convicted of murdering Tristan Bailey. Hold on. Here, I'll play this real quick, and if for some reason, you know what? Hold on. I'm gonna download it in case if it I'm not back up in time, then it won't just play something else. So hold on one second. All right. Huh, hold on. Why is it not? I'm so. Do you guys hear my stuff? Oh my lordy. Oh, I forgot to hit download, I think. Okay. Here we go. All right. Now it'll be good. I'll make sure the air is on too because I'm dying. Okay.
Next 30 days. She is preparing to spend her first night in jail for tampering with evidence in the murder of 13-year-old Tristan Bailey. Investigators say this home surveillance video showed her washing her son's bloody jeans hours after he stabbed his schoolmate to death. Today, Tristan's mother had a message for Smith.
I have gone over this moment in my head for more than 2 years now. What would I say to the woman who broke the law and caused so much pain to my family?
Smith wept as Stacey Bailey spoke. She did not address the Bailey family directly. Instead, her attorney spoke on her behalf.
She apologizes for any additional suffering her conduct caused the Bailey family.
Moments later, Smith was handcuffed, then fingerprinted, then taken to the St. Johns County Jail. Stacey Bailey told Crystal Smith she hopes she reflects this weekend on what she did as she spends Mother's Day in jail away from her other children.
Our coverage at 6 begins with News4Jax reporter Marilyn Parker joining us live outside the St. Johns County Jail. Marilyn, the defense alluded to what motivated Crystal Smith that night almost 2 years ago.
Yes, they said she was a frantic mother trying to figure out what was going on with her son. Then later, she learned about this horrific crime. Now, she'll spend the next 30 days here and then up to 5 years on probation. 38-year-old Crystal Smith signs her paperwork before heading into the St. Johns County Jail. It was after the video here.
You know they found this girl, right?
And from inside her home, washing her son's bloody jeans, that Stacey Bailey says she hopes Smith can get back on track.
Even today, I am concerned about you. In the eyes of the law, your plea of no contest and the following adjudication of guilt are the same. Yet as an individual, admitting your wrongdoings is a step in moving forward.
The state says Aiden Fucci's mother tampered with evidence in the case hours after her son murdered Tristan Bailey. They negotiated with the defense, and ultimately Smith wouldn't admit to the accusations and pleaded no contest. Evidence in the case was mostly against her. Watch closely her conversation inside the interrogation room with Fucci.
You wore khakis or blue jeans?
Blue jeans.
You sure it's not one of
them?
When we looked on the camera, you were wearing khakis, right?
The world has seen the evidence of you washing the jeans. They have seen the video of you coaching Aiden to lie. I hope and pray that you will be able to fully admit your guilt one day and truly be sorry for your actions and the pain that you have inflicted upon our family and our community.
Bailey says she wondered if Smith ever considered her daughter's well-being. Smith apologized to the family in a letter during her son's sentencing and then through her attorney Friday. Sniffling, Smith stood in court as Bailey got a chance to address the woman she says deeply hurt her family.
I have tried to put myself in your shoes on that fateful day, 1,000 times, but I can't. I can never get there because you see, I could never put someone else's child in harm's way for my own, no matter the consequences. The choices that you made on Mother's Day, May 9, 2021, will haunt me for the rest of my life.
And here's a statement from the state attorney's office. It says parents should always strive to teach their children integrity, honesty, and responsibility. What the defendant did was not protecting her child. She was assisting him in avoiding responsibility for an extraordinarily vicious and merciless crime. And that is a crime in more ways than one. Now, after 30 days in jail, the 5-year probation will begin. She can apply to terminate that probation after serving 3 years probation. Reporting live, Marilyn Parker, Channel 4, the local station.
Hold on, Zeke, I'm coming, buddy. Come here, buddy. Come here, Bubba. Come here, Bubba. Come here. Say hi. Oh, come on, let's go say hi to everybody. Come on. Let's go say hi to everybody. Come on, Bubba. Go say hi to everybody. Everybody be happy to say hi to the boy. Oh, shoot, I had my... Okay, there we go. Look who I got. Got my boy. I got my boy. Let me take this down. I got my boy. Look how handsome he is. Look how handsome he is. This is my buddy. Bubba, say hi. Bubba, look. Piece of hair on you. Everybody loves you, Bubba. Everybody loves the boy. He's a good boy. Oh, he's so sweet. I got to sleep with him last night, didn't I, Bubba's? We slept good because he's a good cuddler. He's such a good cuddler. Yes, he is. The biggest cuddler ever. Huh, Bubba? Sweet. He is so sweet. Mwah. Huh. He's a lovey-dovey. He is, Alibi. He's so lovey. He's so lovey. Okay. He's the loveliest boy ever. Well, I'll be right back. Yeah, Bubba. Okay, Bubba. Get you out. Okay, bye. Okay. Alrighty, so I ate, oh, I probably have it in my teeth. I ate 2 chocolate chip cookies. They're small though, the small ones. There's some grapes and my icy because I was so hot. Or my Italian ice. So good. Luigi's Italian ice. Oh my god, they're so good. Usually I'll put whipped cream on there. What's that called? This Easy Whip. But I decided to be good because I put it on my yogurt too. The Easy Whip. So I was like, I'll just eat a plain. But like normally it'll be like, oh, I figure it'll cool me down. Wait, you guys are making a bet? Shauna, you win? Good job. Oh, wait, you won, excuse me, under the cookie? Is that what you won? Okay, so what did we just watch? Oh, Crystal Smith. So yeah, so she'll do 30 days and hopefully learned her lesson, you know. There's only a half bottles of water here. I need a shower bad, guys. I cannot wait to take a shower today. I feel like sticky. My hair is like a grease bucket. I almost didn't want to get on camera because I'm like, my hair is so greasy. Oh, I can't wait. I mean, it's mainly so I can wash my hair. I just can't wait to wash it. It feels anyway. All right. So what? Okay. Do you guys remember Samuel Olson, that case? Where it ended up being the dad's girlfriend, Theresa Balboa. She ended up beating him and then putting him in a bathtub for a couple days, I guess, for some reason, with ice, and then putting him in a container in a hotel. Well, this Rivera guy, which I think it was just her friend, helped. So he got charged too. And the person that also called the tip in, he's charged too for like tamper with evidence because he had called in. He was the one that kind of gave the tip to help find him, but he's the one that rented out the hotel to them. And also, or he rented under his name maybe. And then also I think is he the one that had the car or he helped him move it or whatever. And then, you know, he acted like he didn't know what he was doing, that there was a body in there, but then afterwards when he came up missing, I think he realized, but he did get charged. So anyway, if you remember her here, I'll show you an old interview with the dad and actually let's do this first. This cute I'll show you Samuel Olson. Hold on one second. And then I'll show you the interview with the dad and the girlfriend, Theresa, before they found him. And then we'll see her now. She looks so different now. She's been in jail and she gained so much weight. Like, I don't understand how you could gain so much weight in jail. The food is disgusting, but I guess you're just not doing anything. So, I mean, I guess I could see that. I wouldn't be able to. The food is so gross. I was giving it away. I couldn't even eat it. It was disgusting. But I guess if you're in there a long period, you have to end up getting used to it because you have to eat. So I guess you would just, but I feel like if I was in a long period, I would just end up probably eating to survive. I don't think I would ever be able to really like it. I don't know. I don't think. It was just so bad. All right, 1 second, guys. I'm trying to get this. Give me 1 minute. Trying to get this little clip of Samuel so you guys could see him. He's so cute. A little cute boy that she freaking did that to. I mean, makes no sense. People are just so messed up. I don't understand people sometimes. All right, 1 second. Let me get it clipped out. So hey, where is it? Okay, here it is. So cute. Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm just clipping it so we could just. He's so cute. All right. Okay. Okay. Now I'm ready. Let me share this little clip. This is Samuel Olson. He was 5. So he was 5 when he was killed. I guess his grandma was taking care of him. His father, had drug abuse problems and stuff. His girlfriend, Theresa Balboa, the one that did it, the one that killed him, she had charges, which we'll go over some of them. She had charges like domestic DV charges and stuff, even against her with the father. I feel like there was something about maybe was she choking him or something like that. I'll have to go through it. I haven't been through it in a while. But why am I remembering that she actually like was choking the father and like she just had DV charges, and not only with him, there was other people that she had him with. So she was like a violent person, right? And somehow we don't understand why the father left him in custody of her if she has like these freaking tendencies. And then yeah, she left him in a storage bin after she beat him, and then but there was a point where he was in a bathtub with ice or something in the hotel room. All right, let me share this. Excuse me. Okay, so I'll share the little clip of Samuel first, and then we'll watch some of hers.
Your news is getting a big bet. For your gentleman, you need to buy it for $100. And then your cartoon is coming on my cartoon station.
Okay, so that's Samuel. Now here is some clips that I try to find the original, but I'm going to play you parts of my video when I talked about it when it happened. So I have like I was just trying to compare like reactions of the real mother, the biological mother, I should say, compared to Theresa. So that I kind of have like her. Well, you'll see, but I just want you to watch the Theresa interview. All right, 1 second. So we'll just watch a part of this. This one part. Hold on, I'll show you what I'm talking about. What's this interview? Yeah, this one. All right, so we'll just watch a part of this. So this is the biological mother. They do a press conference. But I don't think we'll watch all of it.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I guess I'm gonna start off by asking if we could just take a minute to have a moment of silence for my son and just pray for him. I don't really know how to do this sort of thing. So just if y'all have any questions, I'll answer them to the best of my ability.
Sarah, first, can you just talk about the toys you brought?
Yeah, Sam was obsessed with Toy Story ever since he was a baby. He loved Toy Story, and Buzz and Woody, those two were his favorite, but he loved all of them. He loved Toy Story.
How are you holding up now in light of everything you've been through?
I'm holding up. I just, it's hard. I'm just taking it day by day. Nobody ever expects something like this. I still am trying to, understand things.
Okay, so
Somewhere with until we find.
I'm going to start where it starts. Here we go. So this is Theresa Balboa, the one that is now in jail for the murder of Samuel. What do you think? Can I get it? There we go.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you.
And we're going to continue to search.
until we find him.
What do you think? Where do you think he could be?
Somewhere with not with us. And that's the important thing, is that he is not with us and we need to bring him back to us. So I can't say where he could be, where he might be, like, because honestly we don't know. At this point we don't know. All we can do is keep searching and doing, everything we've been doing. And we're gonna continue to do it.
You think he's definitely alive?
Oh yeah. We just keep picturing him sitting, watching cartoons, waiting for us. Just sitting there waiting for us. And we're gonna get him. We're gonna find him.
Tell me about your relationship. Did he call you mom? Did he, or at least
Super mommy. That was his choice. It wasn't forced. We didn't force him, because I'm like, I don't want to force that, but
How weird is that? Like, to be like, okay, he calls her super mom, and then she's like, oh, that was his choice. We didn't force him. It's such an odd thing, which makes you think that she probably did force him. It probably was her choice. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's weird. Weird, huh? All right, let me continue.
Call me super mommy or Theresa. It was still uncomfortable for him, because he's little, he's a kid, and he knows who his mom is, but he also knows that how much I care about him and everything that I've been doing for him and have done for him. So we're gonna find him. I know we're gonna find him.
Stuff. If you say your name,
That's the dad.
My name is Dalton Olson, Dalton Olson. Dalton, this must be some rough times. Can you tell me what it's been like? I feel like I'm living in a nightmare I can't wake up from. No parent should ever have to feel this. I can't eat, I can't sleep. I'm at a loss for words, man. I understand. Have the police told you anything or given you any? We're doing our best right now to get out there and search for him. We're trying to cooperate and give them everything. We've given them everything that we can. Any little information we think is important or even as insignificant as we think it is, we still hand it over. So we're just trying to do everything we can to play our part to help bring my son home safe, because that's all that matters at the end of today is please help me find my son. What was your son's name? His name is Samuel Olson. He just turned 6 years old on the 29th. He has a little bit of shaggy hair on top, shorter on the sides. Yeah. And you said you can be passing out some flyers. Yes, sir. We're all in the area. Yeah. We've been in the Pasadena, LaPorte area passing out flyers. Right now, we're over here on the southwest side of Houston passing out flyers. We're going to go to the area where he was last seen, and we're going to pass out flyers. I mean, anywhere we can just hand out anything for somebody if they've seen something. I mean, any little bit of information will help.
So yeah, he didn't actually make it to his 6th birthday, because he said the 29th he was 6. It was the 27th that he died. But see, they don't know that when he died, or he doesn't. Theresa does, because Teresa's the one that did it, but he doesn't, the dad.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
The father of little Samuel Olson breaking down overnight, crushed by the magnitude of the situation.
I was going to take Sam to school when his mother showed up with a police officer, or what I was under the impression to be a police officer, and they demanded me to release.
Okay, so she was back in court recently. I'll play you just little updates, some of the cases that I covered, if there's like an update in it. Okay, so here is is this the one? No. Hold on 1 second. Oh, here we go. Here's one of the new update or one of the new things. Hold on. Okay, we already watched that. Hold on. Okay.
Balboa is facing 52 years in prison after she pled guilty to killing 5-year-old Samuel Olson. We've been following this case since 2021 when the young boy went missing and his body was later found at a motel. Ugochi Iloka joining us live now from the criminal courthouse with more. Ugochi, Samuel's family was there giving some emotional victim impact statements.
Sure, man, emotional and just really tough and heartbreaking to listen to. In fact, I just spoke to the mother of Samuel Olson right across the street from where I am right now. And she tells me that she's upset that her son's killer isn't going to trial. Take a look. This is new video, new this afternoon, in a plea hearing for Theresa Balboa that just wrapped up. Within the last 2 hours, she agreed to a 52-year prison sentence for the murder of 5-year-old Samuel Olson. The young boy was reported missing after his disappearance and was eventually found dead in a storage bin at a motel in Jasper nearly 2 years ago. Court documents say Balboa beat the child and with the help of a roommate placed his body in a bathtub for a few days before disposing of it in that bin. In court, the grandma of Samuel, who she calls Sammy, said he had the most infectious smile and told Balboa she's a monster whose actions have consequences. Samuel's mom's side of the family wore shirts with her son's picture on them. After the court hearing, she told me she doesn't think Balboa's charge should have been reduced from capital murder to murder, claiming she was robbed of seeing her son grow up.
You're an absolutely disgusting person. I think she should do life, honestly. She has a chance of parole in 26 years. That's still that chance that she can get out. She shouldn't have a chance at all.
Yeah, little Samuel's dad, who was actually dating Balboa at the time of his killing, was in court. You could visibly see him very upset, breathing hard. He ended up leaving the hearing upset with everything that he heard there. We also know that 2 other suspects were charged in this case. We'll be following what happens to them next closely. Reporting live in downtown Houston, Ugochi Iloka, KHU 11.
Yeah, so crazy. Excuse me. Let me see if this is another one, if it even has anything. She gained a lot of weight though, don't you think? I'm trying to think if that's more common in prison. Or you people. I don't know. I always like think you would lose weight, but I mean that's not a big. But the point is, yeah. So this is a case we've been following, so I just wanted to update you. So that's what's happened with the case. Here's another little clip of her.
The woman who murdered a 5-year-old boy and hid his body in an East Texas motel was sentenced to 56 years in prison today. This is part of a plea deal prosecutors made today with Theresa Balboa. Adam Bennett has been covering the case from the very beginning. Adam, 2 other men also charged with helping Balboa hide the body. Will they seek plea deals as well?
So, Len, there's always a possibility there, but the DA's office told me they won't comment on it until it's a done deal. That's because they have seen people back out at the last minute before. But today, the person responsible for killing 5-year-old Samuel Olson admitted her guilt in her role. This morning, members of the group that searched for Samuel Olson and family members wearing shirts honoring the 5-year-old
He would have been an amazing big brother.
packed this Houston courtroom to see the woman who murdered Olson admit responsibility and accept punishment.
There is no such thing as closure.
Victim advocate Andy Kahn has been helping Olson's paternal grandmother and father, who had been dating Theresa Balboa. On May 12, 2021, Balboa was watching the boy at her Southeast Houston apartment when she struck him with a blunt object. After reporting Olson missing, she took the boy's body to a storage unit in Webster 10 days after the murder, then to a motel room in Jasper 9 days later. That's where Houston police officers and Texas Rangers arrested her the next day. In court today, Olson's grandmother told Balboa she's a monster whose actions have consequences.
We worked with them and we agreed totally with what happened here today.
I'm pretty upset her charge was reduced to murder instead of capital murder.
Sarah Olson is Samuel's mother. She also gave a victim impact statement.
I wanted to take it to trial, but that wasn't going to happen.
Harris County District Attorney Kim Ogg said, quote, "We have now guaranteed that she has been held accountable, will serve decades in prison, and can never appeal her sentence. And that is, in small measure, justice." Benjamin Rivera and Dylan Walker have both been charged with tampering with a corpse in this case, and both have bonded out. Rivera's next court date is set for July 19th. I reached out to Jasper County for more information about Walker's case, but I'm still waiting to hear back. Reporting live downtown, Adam Bell.
See, I think Rivera was actually with her in the hotel, so I think he was well aware. Saw him in the bathtub, saw the buddy. He was like so aware of what was going on. Now, the other guy that just helped move the container, I think it was, and that rented the hotel in his name, it's not that clear that he was aware. You know what I'm saying? Because it could have just been like, he said like he didn't know, he was just helping him. He didn't know what they were moving. Let's say he just did it, not totally aware, and then he sees this missing Samuel, and then he sees the Theresa. Wow, he's dating the dad, huh? And then he could have just put 2 to 2 together, like, man, was that his body I was moving? So I could see like maybe he didn't know what he was actually doing. But that Rivera, he shouldn't have been able to get bonded out. He was so aware. If I'm remembering right, like he knew, he saw Samuel in the bathtub. Like he's the one that like he knew 100%. That's messed up. Like he needs to get more. I mean, I hope he gets some jail time. Now the other guy, I'm not sure. Maybe the other guy, shouldn't get that much, but wow. Anyway, so yeah. So she possibly could get out and still have like a couple, some life, which is sucky, but like she took a plea. So they didn't have to go to trial. 52, what they say 52 years could get, in 25 they could do a whatever that's called, but like let's say she serves her whole 52, but then how they get like credit for like good behavior or whatever. I mean, she might only do like 45 or 40, so she possibly could get out as like an old lady and have some free time. I mean, it's really possible, but sometimes it's worth it in their eyes. Like, not the families. I'm sure the family's probably always mad when they take plea deals, but the state and to save the money, the time on the trials and stuff, and that small chance that she gets a non-guilty, which they had pretty strong evidence. So I doubt that would have happened, but yeah. So yeah, early release. So that's that. What else? So this was kind of just like kind of an update day for some updates of cases that I've been covering. There's one more. So we had Crystal Smith, we had Menendez, we had Olson, Kegan, Kline. I feel like there's one more I wanted to do. Hold on. Theresa. Oh, West. We did West. Hey, D. I don't know. I guess I have pretty much all. Well, hold on. Let me see what I have in this folder. Oh, this is what I was just going to go over real quick. But other than that, I might save like the new cases, like the lady, excuse me, that wrote the book and stuff. I might just do that as like, just cover that separate, because it's a current case. Maybe wait till I get back from my trip and actually cover it, like as far as, do that separate. I'm thinking, since I'm already going on 3 hours. But let me share. Hold on, I put a couple files in here that I was talking about with the Olson case. I just want to see something. I think I have the one where it shows her past, some of Theresa's past charges. I think I have that in one of these files. So we have Samuel. It's him. That's the dad hugging. There's Theresa right there. Oh wait. That's Theresa and him, the dad. There's Samuel. Okay, so this is the mom, Samuel's mom. It says the mother of 6-year-old missing boy found dead in Jasper motel room says his father is somehow involved. So originally she thought he was, but he wasn't. He's not charged, arrested, but his fiance. Oh, fiance. Sorry, he was engaged. Is okay. That's Samuel. So here's her previous mug shots. Theresa's. So it says out on bond from an assault charge. So this was just a kind of a recent assault charge. So is believed to be found. So Balboa was out on bond from an assault charge in November, which alleges she assaulted Sam's father. Here's that's Samuel's mother, biological mother. This was so when this was going on, we were digging up because we didn't know who was involved. So we always like look at everybody, the parents and stuff. So we were kind of like digging into his mom, his dad, and so we found like his mom had some charges, but obviously she's not involved in this murder or anything. Okay, so here's Theresa. So this is one of her charges. Let's see if this has any good information about no, 3rd-degree felony assault. So this is one of the assault charges, but I'm just seeing if this one actually has the detail. No, that one doesn't have the details. Okay. See if this one does. I had them somewhere, but I don't know if I might not have them in this file. I went and looked for my files and I just put some of the ones I found, but I don't know if I have that. This is the assault criminal active. Excuse me. I know I have one where it gives the details, but I don't know if I have it in here, guys. She's either the one that choked him or there was another one where one of the people, and I don't know, I'm mixing up 2 cases. There's another one where the person tried to run the person over, tried to run the boyfriend over with a car. So I can't remember which one this was. I feel like it's probably either one or the other. She tried to hit him with a car or she was like choking him. Let's see if we could find it. But she was out on bond. So it's like, she shouldn't have been, and he should not have let, if he knew that, and I'm not blaming him, but I wish he wouldn't have let Samuel in her custody. Like, if he shouldn't even have stayed with her, but I know people do, but to let your kid with her, Oh, here's one of her mug shots. Yeah, I don't have it, but she was violent person. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so, well, guys, yeah. So I think I'm gonna try to. So when I cover that one case with the lady, I can't think of her name right now that killed her husband and then wrote that book. I'm gonna try to find that book and see if we could get it. I don't know if I'll have to buy it or how that'll work, or if it's online now, and then maybe we could just see read some of it and see. Yeah, so I'll do that separate since it's a current case. I think I'm gonna go take a shower before dinner. I need a shower. Oh, thanks, Peyton. Oh, it's so gross. I was only in there for a short period. It was so bad that, like, I couldn't even eat the cookie. Like, the cookie should have been the easy thing. Like, I couldn't even eat the cookie. It was so gross. The bread for lunch for the sandwich, oh my God, it was stale. And the bologna was slimy. Oh my God. The only thing I was able to eat was the fruit, like an orange or, So, and then the people that were in there for a long time, I mean, they knew I was new and they probably knew, oh, she's not going to eat the food. She's going to think it's gross or whatever. So this one girl came up to me the first day and was like, hey, whatever you don't eat, I'll take. So I was like, you could have it all here. So what she did, I remember, like, she separated it. So, like, she took like, for instance, the bologna sandwich, she like took the bologna out separate and like wrapped that up and like kept it in her locker so she could eat it like later and stuff. And then took everything like separate and wrapped it. Like, so gross. But I guess, like you said, if you're in there for ever, I mean, for a long time, you're gonna probably you'll have to eat, you'll get used to it, but I don't think I don't think I would ever get to the point where I would enjoy it. I think I would just eat to survive because it's that gross, ugh. Um, wait, why am I lucky, Shauna? Wait, sink tractor trailers of tomato sauce. That was so bad. I got a migraine when they opened it on the dock of the 10 minutes. Ew, okay. I'm glad. If I would even know where it came from, I would probably. My friend is asleep on the couch in the shower. It is on the other side of the wall. She hasn't been failing well, so I'm trying to let her sleep. Aw. That's sweet of you. I know. I know. He was like, oh, mac and cheese was good. You're right. Oh, really? Well, maybe I just has a bad experience. Maybe our cook was, I don't know. It was just like the bread was stale, and I mean, I guess it could be worse, but no, I couldn't do it. I couldn't. Slimy meat and cookie wasn't even good. The cookies, I mean, you would think, at least cookies can't be bad. Even if the cookies are old, it's like a cookie. So at least it should be edible. I couldn't even eat it. I took one bite and I can't. Oh, we're going to Pennsylvania. So we're going camping and then we're getting an Airbnb. We're going to camping at the Old Bull State Park. Supposed to be really good for like stargazing and because it's like an hour away from anything. So I love it. I love the stars. And so I just got a tent, set it up to make sure so I at least got a good idea how it sets up and make sure all the parts were there. Well, the clip broke. So I had to order so I had to return that, but I got it yesterday. So they were quick. They sent it, got me a new one within a day. But I'm so worried that the clip breaks that easy that it's gonna break out there. They should be more sturdy, and they're not. Like it shouldn't be able to break that easy. So that's kind of making me nervous. Um yeah, I know. We will. We will. We're prepared. We got bear spray and I don't know. Yeah, it'll be good. But thank you. I'm excited. I always get so excited to see her. And that camping I used to love. I haven't camped in a while, but I used to lived in Colorado, camp in the mountains, the Rocky Mountains. We would just go and just sometimes not even set up a tent and just lay by a rock or whatever. And in the mountains, just go wherever. It was just so I love the mountains. So, but I haven't camped since I moved home, since I've been sober and moved home. So for 7 years, I have not camped. So I didn't even have a tent. So I had to get a tent. So it's been a long time, but that used to be my love, camping. Oh my God. Cooking on the fire. Oh, I love cooking on the fire. The food and then I love bonfires. So good. Oh, thanks, Rosemary. Thank you. So yeah, so I'll be MIA for a week because I'm taking them. I take my vacation every month when I see her. I just take off from the channel, but it's sometimes there's some much needed little vacation just to take a break because talking about murder and psycho people all day could get to you. So yeah, yeah, she will. What did Batman say? Oh, kidnap. I hope not. Well, if I'm getting kidnapped, they probably would take my phone. Wouldn't they take our phones? I want to get a gun eventually, though. So I haven't got one yet. something I've been wanting to do for a while and, like, go to the shooting range to learn how to shoot it and stuff. So that would be helpful, like, even for bears or you know what I'm saying, just to have something for protection, so yeah. No, it does. I know, but I just sometimes wish that we weren't so far from each other, though. But we have been seeing each other every month, like, once a month, but, um, I love to be able to see her every day. I'm a baby. But hey, Danielle. Wait, but have wait, but an unlocked tent just oh. Yeah. We'll be good. I'm more like the thing that I'm just trying to prepare is more for like animals, like bears, lions. You know what I'm saying? But knock on wood, I haven't even tried. I haven't even like thought like people. No, we'll be good. I can't say pain. I'm like a warrior. I gotta just but, like, camping, I never worry about, like, people. I never even think about that. I know it's could happen, but, like, I'm more like, "Let's protect ourselves from the animals, so let's be prepared for the animals," but, like, people never come into my head. Now, outside of camping, of course, studying all these murder, I mean, that's what I think of, but, like, camping, I never do, which is weird, huh? I should, but I don't. I keep knocking on wood. Knock on wood. Yes, sun-kissed. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get one. I mean, soon. My mom wants to get one too, but we wanna go like so I wanted to ideally go to a shooting range and try out some to kinda see what kind I want, you know? Excuse me, because I've never shot a gun, but I wanna, like, learn how, see what's a good fit for me, and then buy one. Because not only, like, for protection, but I feel like it could be, like, a good hobby, like, going, like, just going to a shooting range and letting off some steam. But not like you know what I'm saying? I just feel like it could be like a kind of a fun, good hobby just to like go to a shooting range, and then also to have it for protection, but then be very comfortable with it. So I know how to use it really good. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I always have a hiking stick. So we're gonna carve sticks. I have a couple. Like I had this hiking stick in Colorado that I would carry. Oh, I loved it. I carved it and I carved like dates into it and stuff of different things. And but then when I became homeless, I lost it because I couldn't keep. I was traveling like not having a permanent home. I ended up losing it. Somebody took it. But I have some pretty good sticks in the garage that we're gonna bring and carve them, like, whittle them or whatever. No, Batman. Yeah, Peyton. I will. Ah, laser tag? Alright, guys, I'm gonna end it. Go take a shower, shower. But yeah, I'll see if we'll helmet it up on an AK-47. Yeah, where is All Saint Peyton? Yeah, I know. I'm going to get it, definitely. It's only a matter of time. Where's All Saint at? Is he working? Tuesday morning. I'll be back Monday. So I get almost a week. I always try to add on days. I'll only add on this extra day. So originally we were going Wednesday, and then I added an extra day. I'm always doing that. Like, she'll be like, do this day. And I'll be like, no, we're going to do, because I feel like if we're already going and we don't get to see each other for another month, and we're already traveling, so might as well just get as much time. So I always sneak in a couple of extra days. Oh, anyway. All right, guys, I am going to go. Thanks for hanging out. Like I said, I'm gonna is that the case you guys want me to cover? Is what happens way more, Shauna? Is that the case, the lady that killed her husband? Is that, you want me to look into that, or is there something else, do you think? Just leave in the comments if that's the one you want me to look into. I know that one got recommended in the House of Horrors. So if is there any other ones? I know Masterson, Shauna. I haven't even looked. I'll have to look into that. But now that the trial's already going on, that's probably going to be by the time I get to it, it might be pretty much too late. I mean, not too late, but you know what I'm saying? Is there a lot to catch up on with that? I don't know. I'm wondering. Oh, the show popping into the shirt. Okay. All right, guys. Bye, everybody. Oh, love you guys too. Be safe for this weekend's Memorial Day. No, that's next weekend. Yeah, because the weekend, yeah, so next weekend's Memorial Day weekend, and I probably might not talk to you before that. So have a good Memorial Day weekend. And Tuesday. So I doubt I have like a lot of stuff to do before tomorrow. I got to take my car in. So I probably won't I might do pre-recorded. I want to do this, now this Brian Koberger, compilation thing I was going to do. So I mean, you might see pre-recorded, but I probably won't be live again until I get back. So I'll tell you when I get back, we'll tell you how it goes. Oh, well, tell him I said hi. Sorry, I am leaving. I got to jump in the shower. All right, bye, everybody. No! They are? '26. What kind of a thing? What do you mean, alibi? Astronomy event. The 26th is what day? Wait, 23rd, 20. Wait, 24th is Wednesday, 25th is Thursday, 26th is Friday. So Friday? What do you mean? Tuesday. Peyton, do you have it on mute? Because I've answered you like 4 times. Tuesday. I'm leaving. Tuesday morning. You're talking about at the Old Bull, like at the park? Are you talking about? Or you just mean in general there's something going on with the stars? Old Bull. Old Bull, it's called Old Bull. I don't. All right, goodbye, guys. I'm really going. Oh, I see. Cool. That'd be cool. Okay, well, thanks. Thanks, Alibi. Bye, everybody.